The Rap Roundtable.
Episode 144 of New York and hip hop's #1 podcast. Get your ones up. We are the best in the world. The rest of y'all are not. And if you got a problem with us saying that,
you niggas what?
We are the Rap Roundtable. Listen, man, we gonna tell you we the best every time out. Shout out to Sharon. It was her idea to let y'all know that we are the best each and every time. Like, and you know, I know we live in the second place trophy era, so when people say they're the best, there's a group of humans who get offended by it. So let's remind the people, if you're doing something enough times and you don't think you're the best, the problem is you. Even if the numbers say that somebody might be better than the Rap Roundtable, we're supposed to think we're the best. And I think as far as quality goes, content for content, I put my pod up against anybody's pod, quite frankly.
Talk about it, bro.
No frills, unfiltered, just straight music talk, no bullshit, no clickbait. Most consistent,
realest stories,
better interviews,
most charisma. Shout out the whole.
And a lot of the times, you know, people want to do like top threes, top fives, and think that we're supposed to be happy with like being in the conversation. Like, especially in today's day and age when the term GOAT doesn't even really mean greatest of all time. It's like you'll put a bunch of people and call them all GOATs.
Facts.
No, there's one best.
Oh, man.
And it's us.
And
we are them.
And if you got your 3, 4, whatever favorite pods, you know, like, we glad to be in there, but we want to be #1. Like, at the end of the day, like, we're not doing it just to be fun and games. We love y'all like y'all love us. We trying to click.
I don't even want to be. You know? We are.
Yo, my dude, I feel like we all watch shows. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and in terms of like information, being on cue, being entertaining, you know what I'm saying? Like shit that niggas say actually does happen.
It's only one of us. There's only one version of this type of podcast, and it's us. Heaven forbid, because it's been motherfuckers been trying to emulate the Steez, and they've been very unsuccessful.
You niggas what?
In some cases, they can't get in their studios anymore.
You niggas what?
In some cases, the show don't exist anymore.
Damn. You niggas what?
In some cases, niggas is just liars.
You niggas what?
Time and time again, we have shown and proven throughout all trepidation, all Discord chats about us, all lies made up about us. We have persevered while the others have fallen by the wayside.
You niggas what?
So we gonna talk our shit a little bit. You know, again, this is episode 144. You can find us all over social media. In fact, right now, we are heavily pushing our Instagram. So all 24,000 of you, if you haven't followed us on Instagram yet, by all means do that. You know, we're starting to figure out how the Instagram algorithm works adjacent to the Twitter algorithm. We kind of know how Twitter works. You know exactly what to do and what to say to get attention on Twitter when we want it. So we're trying to figure out the Instagram algorithm. You know, what I'm noticing with Instagram, shout out Macito, you see he's not here.
Shout out to Mace.
Is that Instagram, you got to be a lot more on time. All of our on-time videos, like whatever's happening, whatever's trending, we've done a pretty large number. When we just do things for the love or just put out content to stay relevant, those will do as well, but on time, boy, we score when we on time on Instagram. I'm learning, you know?
Yeah.
I'm learning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the gram. It's working when it's working.
The beat you hear in the background is brought to you by Sincere Beats. He makes beats.
Holla at me.
And if you are familiar with who we are, it's your boy Jarv here alongside Sincere the Rap Star, alongside Dini the Balance.
Force be with you.
No Macito. Dini's in Macito's seat today. That's what I'm like. Something was throwing me off for a second. It's because Dini's over there. You know what I mean?
I'm on this side today, man.
Yeah,
shout out to Mace.
He was asking Walt before the show. He's like, I need you to help me out with the mic stand. And I'm like, wait, don't he usually sit over there? It just occurred to me.
We gave you some more room over there. We gave you some more room. You know?
Yo, listen. I was looking at one of our first when we did the Rome interview with Derringer. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? We had 2 separate chairs. I'm like, yo, real shit. We might have to bring them separate chairs back. I be with these. See how like my legs are free, center's comfortable over there. Yeah. We just be here like on a crowded train and shit while Mace and Dini be comfy.
Mace be cooling, bro.
God damn.
God. That little. I can't even call it a sofa. What is that? A love seat? I don't know.
I mean, y'all make it look real professional.
A little 1.5 seater.
We be fighting for our life.
Once the liquor start hitting, niggas start leaning
so
back.
You always see me lean into like
facts.
You know what I mean?
I feel you.
You don't see my arm be over the shit, nigga. Oh man, but yeah, so like we just had to talk our shit a little bit, you know, mainly because if y'all don't know by now, it's New York Bias 4 season. The internet has basically summoned this like the Dragon Balls. There's been too much chatter about the towns. Been too much strange energy. Y'all heard us talk about it on Monday, but it's absolutely New York Bias 4 season. We took off last year. We ain't doing New York Bias in a minute after New York Bias 3.
Facts.
You know what I mean? I'm about to highlight the homie Demi because he ain't missed a New York Bias yet.
Demi D.
You know what I mean? We might have to go back to the old table for this one.
Might have to get the black snob back out.
Might have to get the black snob back out because it's getting ridiculous.
Wrong. We might need you, bro. Pull up.
It's really weird because, like, I try to look. You know, there's a search feature or whatever. Like, I don't really be seeing people out of nowhere talking about New Orleans,
right,
or Houston, or Atlanta, or Florida. You know, any city in Florida. You know, it's always like, damn, New York got to catch this L. Oh, you know, New York always on their bias shit or on their high horse or whatever. Like it's always something about New York that bothers people. Like, why y'all so bothered by it? We all the way up here in the corner. We in the corner. You much closer to the center of,
son,
you know.
Talk about it.
Now we gonna get into it later, but that's a great point, saying like no other city got to catch L's, but as soon as anything happens in New York, the whole city and state of New York got to catch the L.
The whole L.
Lil Wayne out here doing bogus halftime shows. I didn't hear no one say New Orleans got to catch the L. Lil Wayne had to take that L by himself.
Totally.
You know what I mean? That's a great point, son.
Facts.
And then Cali be chilling too.
Facts.
Everybody in Cali on go time. I love that.
Cali be chilling. They doing their own thing. They don't have New York all up in their mouth all the time. Pause.
Nah, fuck that. We in they jibs. You know what I mean?
They always doing their own thing, man. I love that about Cali. They always got their own thing going on.
Cali got their own way.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But it's like, we gonna get into it because again, y'all have forced this. Maybe not y'all in the chat right now, but the people in the public at large have forced this to become New York Bias 4 season. We was trying to leave the New York Bias energy alone. I gotta think about this. I'm not even sure if we did New York Bias in 2024, Cent. I think our last New York Bias was 2023. Because 2024 was dominated by the beef.
Yeah.
2025 was still the beef. Kendrick shit. Drake shit. Drake, the lawsuit and whatnot.
J. Cole.
The
aftermath of it all.
Clips,
you know,
Grammys, Super Bowl, pop outs,
clips,
might delete laters, like a lot of shit happened.
A lot of things happened.
Delete laters?
Did delete.
He did delete.
For sure.
Shit.
And we covered a lot of that. The lawsuit took a lot of time because of the whole thing with Lucian and everything and the clips dominating. Tyler was outside doing business. We had a lot of other things to get to. Griselda business, of course.
Facts.
So the town. That was essentially the New York Bias 4. You know what I mean? In a lot of ways. Doing the town show that's still pinned at the top of our YouTube channel. For the people who swear there ain't shit going on in New York, there's on our channel right now that y'all avoid like the plague.
If y'all really take the time and watch that, like, I feel like every town should have kind of like that, like a town. You know what I'm saying? Where you can see that town's tier of artists that are coming up that are dope and may not have the looks on them that they supposed to get, you know, but like, bro, it was just so much talent in one room, so much great conversation, so many builds, and those conversations led to interviews, those conversations led to builds.
There's still people you gotta interview from that shit, you know what I mean?
My dude, like,
because I just talked to Trap Hefe the other day. He was one of the first guys who was supposed to get up here, but he'll be up here soon. You know what I mean? There's a whole ecosystem in New York City that y'all just ignore.
Shouts to Rome Streets. Been a friend of the table for a long time.
Big facts.
But, you know, we also had Fergie Baby that night.
That's true.
Salute.
And we have Fergie on the show.
Fergie on the show. Fergie blowing up. Fergie's on Hot 97.
Out of here.
Day in Harlem.
Out of here.
Out of here. I'm glad we caught him when we did.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because Ferg is out of here, bro.
Yeah, man.
Love that for him, man.
And shout out to him coming through with being a great interview. Like, you would have never guessed he was as hot as he was at the time he came, because he was already on his way out of here when he came to the Rap Roundtable. Good energy, great interview, great responses to questions, telling us his story and how he leveled up. And you know what I mean? That's what we like to see. And one thing I can say about our shows, we've had some guys who were super lit, have come in and sat at this table or sat at this sofa, and they've provided some great insight on their careers and where they were hoping, where they started and where they hope to take it. So Man, hey, we the best, man.
Yeah,
just to bring it back full circle. Like
organic too, bro.
Everything y'all complain about New York, we've covered it on this podcast. And if y'all open y'all blinders and stop looking for gotcha moments, just pay attention. Do the knowledge, you know? But anyway, hit the like button.
That was one of the best interviews too, the Fergie.
Bro.
Oh, yeah. Shout out YG Cable. He was there. It was
He's a star, bro.
You know
Fergie's a star, bro.
Ferg just came in super chill, talked about, you know, I love the story about him, you know, not caring at certain points and then fully locking in, being nervous during the on the radar freestyle, and how much takes he had to do before he got that. You know what I mean? Earnest energy. You know what I mean? And he's from Harlem. You don't get that all the time.
Don't, man. Shout out to like the homie Cajun Waters too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good vibes, a lot of good builds.
You got the
man.
footage in the back.
Yeah, shout out Ferg. Yeah.
Walter Great. Salute.
From downtown as usual. I got the wrong cup. You know what I mean? Absolutely, man.
Hey, they both the right cup.
You're right. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell.
All that.
Log into All Things Rap Roundtable. You know what we do here with these game studios. Yes, swipe and hype.
You know what? YouTube is helping out because I noticed that now after you like, it does the swipe for you.
Yeah.
So you see that.
I did see that.
So shout out to YouTube. You getting your shit together.
You know? So make sure that y'all swipe. There's been some people been doing it. Like, we're not getting 100,000 hype points, but I'm seeing like 30, 40,000. So that means a good enough amount of people are swiping and hyping. Let's get that number up, y'all. You know what I mean?
Do that, y'all.
Over 24,000 subs. Shout out to all the people we've collaborated recently who's helped us expand our reach. You know, big shout out to the company man on the last Culture United. The man said, I gotta hit him actually to thank him because he was like, yo, if you not, and I quote, he was like, if you're not tapped into the Rap Roundtable by now, punch yourself in the face. that was what he said. He was like, that is the best hip hop roundtable show on the market right now.
It's all happening.
And he said that for the free ski. You know what I mean? That wasn't a paid promo. Like he really loves the energy. It goes back to what you were saying, what Deanie was saying, what I was saying. Like there's a lot of shows of multi-man or multi-person podcasts, and they don't produce at the clip that we produce at. They don't give you the content. They don't give you entertainment. They don't give you the actual, what is the word, like brotherhood that you see here, camaraderie that you see on this platform, like, you know. And I'm glad people are starting to pay attention to it. And it's gonna be more of that. Because we unstoppable. Shout out to the Juggernaut. Like I told y'all like 3 years ago. Y'all didn't believe, but God did. You know,
that's a fact.
Anyway, that was a Jay-Z reference for the Nas fans. So as we've established recently here on the pod, we like to get into what we're listening to right now. We've had some big albums drop that's been, you know, dominating the options. The last time I was still fully entrenched in the Cole album that I still think is pretty average. I'm sorry, you know. I know the sales numbers because, you know, sales matter when it's useful to the person who's weaponized.
Right, there you go.
I know that the sales came out and it was a victory for the J. Cole fans and he sold this and that. And I was like, you know, people really listen without emotion to us. They'll understand that we knew that would happen. Yeah. We never once denounced J. Cole as an artist. In fact, we wanted him to fully aspire to even higher heights. And, you know, credit to him for standing on the square. I give him that. Like, it takes a lot of balls. Bro. You know, I say that. I don't think I've ever said it on this show. It takes a lot of balls to do what he did. To do what he did in 2024 and to drop this album and stand on his square, considering how it could have gone, takes a lot of balls to do that. Fair is fair. Pause. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, just because it sold mad units as we knew it would, that don't mean that somehow it validates how mid it is. You know, if you look at a lot of people's favorite songs, if you look at the streaming data, disc one heavy.
Same called it.
Disc one. There is a statistical drop off in disc two that no one wants to talk about.
I don't like people want to be so mad at me, want to call me out, want to say that, you know, I'm out of touch or I'm just an old man or I'm just a hater. But 9.5 times out of 10, I just be right. And I be calling it. And I look at my crystal ball and I could see the future. And then when the actual factuals come out, now y'all caught up. Now y'all see what I was talking about. I was right the whole time. People are not fucking with that second disc. The first one is solid. It's a good listen. You know, some of the beats is still, you know, give me garage band kind of vibes. But for the most part, that was a good project. That's the project that I would have wanted to hear by itself.
Can I ask you a very basic question just for the public to understand what we've been saying? So if you have a really strong disc 29.
Yeah.
And mid-guard or below average disc 39. If you add those two together, what would the outcome be?
What do you mean?
If one is really good and one isn't good at all.
It's mid. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. That's the definition of mid.
Mid-guard.
That's what he said. That's what we've been saying the whole time, man. We've literally been saying this since it dropped.
Listen.
And as much as y'all get on the internet and get on the comment section, specifically ours and other platforms, the streaming data comes out and it's pointing out that y'all niggas ain't living y'all raps. Y'all cursing us out. But then we see, like, I'm talking about a damn near 50% drop from 29 to 39, and they wondering why we saying the album is mid. If it's a double album, one is really good and one is not good, and you put it together, it's fucking mid.
If y'all thought it was good, y'all would have been running the numbers up.
And before, because I could already see it.
Precipitous drop off.
I'm looking in the crystal ball. I'm seeing the future. People are like, oh, so now you guys are talking numbers. Because but I just want to point out, there's a very big difference between talking amounts of tallies, like totals, and talking about percentages. Within the percentage of people that have listened to the album, there's a very steep drop off from disc 29 to disc 39.
Facts.
Right? Yeah. Percentage and ratios, that's what tells you the true real story, you know?
There it is. It's not even about the numbers. It's about what the humans are electing to listen to. If it's a situation where it was like, all right, split down the middle. Oh, they front to back and this album is hard. Or it's like an amalgamation of split down the middle where like some parts of 29 is eaten, some parts of 39 are eaten. No, it is 29 by a landslide.
Yeah.
So it ain't us.
39 was so unnecessary, bro. And upon hearing it, upon the first time hearing it, I was like, why does this half of the album even exist, bro?
Damn, son.
Why does it exist? It was so unnecessary.
Because things happen. Times, like the Doctor Strange with the time stone, that's the only way it could have happened. Like, I think it's like, yo, I don't have a double album. All great artists, like I said, I think he's just doing a checklist of a lot of things. All great artists have a double album.
I wish Mesito was here because I wanna ask a problematic question. Hold on, Dini, chill. I'm being serious here. If you take off half of that album, because like, all right, we know what he did physical with the direct-to-consumer numbers. I think he did like 77 or somewhere in that vicinity. That's a great number for direct-to-consumer.
Yeah.
So that
great
was
fans.
Hell yeah, his fans. So I mean, I love how much they support. I might think they're annoying, but I love how much they support Cole.
There's a definite connection there.
But hear me out, chat as well. Does he do 285? Because usually with the streaming numbers, it's a total number of how much each individual song is streamed. Yes.
So he had basically a whole second album of extra songs.
If you take off that second disc, is it still 285 first week or 280?
It really can't be. You get what I'm saying?
So did he play the stream game? Put more songs on there to inflate? Maybe I might be hating.
No.
Their own playlist.
I might be hating.
No, because if that drop off happened, then that means that second disc didn't add to the numbers as much as
after the first week.
But everybody still had to listen to it. You get
so
what
I'm hating. Y'all saying I'm hating.
So that first week, that's first week numbers.
Y'all can tell me if I'm hating. Maybe I'm hating. You know what I mean? I can admit that.
If the second week numbers are a crazy drop off on the second joint, then that tells you a lot.
Yeah, no, because it's not like, yeah, because you're thinking about it in terms of like back in the day, you buy a double album, you only listen to disc one, but you already purchased disc two. You purchased the package, so it counts.
But
anyway.
in the stream era, they tally up all the individual songs to come to an approximation of how much streaming numbers you've done. At least that's what my understanding of it is. That's why I said I wish Mace was here. So I'm saying if you take off those songs, the 12 songs from some disc 39, are the Cole fans gonna run those numbers up enough for disc 29 to where it's still 280 the first week?
Then they will be doing that now. and just saying fuck this too.
It wouldn't have been quite as high, but I don't think it would have made as much of a dent.
It wouldn't have been as loud.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. So I was hating. You know.
Slick hating.
Nah, I was dirty macking. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I was trying to pull down the impact of the number. You know what I mean? I failed. But
I think the fans are there. They're locked in.
Yeah.
And I think that's at the end of the day, no matter what we say, we have our jokes and all that. It's really for his fans. You know, if you got what you were supposed to get out of the album, I think at the end of the day, that's what matters. You know what I'm saying?
That's fact.
So shout out to them.
I just want to upset Cole fans because I hate them. That's really the gist.
Yo, they are a very active fan base, bro. Yeah. I thought the K Dots and the Owls had their own little syndicate, but this shit is different.
You want to? Can we tell the truth about?
I think all the stands are.
Nah.
Yeah,
bro.
but I'm gonna tell you why.
The pretentious stands are the worst, though.
I'm gonna tell you why they different to me anyway. To me.
Salute.
Because the Drake fans can say they lost to Kendrick, but they were one half of the greatest story ever.
This is a fact.
The Kendrick fans have been quiet. Kendrick fans never say, why are we still talking about this? Because Kendrick won. The only people who truly outright took a deflating loss was the Cole fans. They've been on the defensive for a year and a half. So, of course, when the fall off dropped, they feel like they could get all their shit off now because they've had to eat mad shit since April, whatever, 2024.
Yeah, man.
They've had to eat the most, not Drake fans, Cole fans have had to eat the most shit. How much niggas been calling Cole a sucker and whatever, letting hip hop down. They had to eat all of that. The fall off is their catharsis, bro.
So you're saying the Cole fans have a chip on their shoulder
Massive.
that
super.
They can't seem to
they
get rid of.
I think they shaking it right now, in their opinion. Because the fall off is a classic to them. And because Rob
Markman, it might just be
a
running theme for the episode.
Oh, okay. Say less. So what are we listening to outside of the Cole album? Because I'm still giving it a chance. Because I don't want niggas to be like, you don't get it. You're gonna say I'm listening, nigga. I'm still trying to hear what y'all hear. But beyond that, what are we listening to, Sim?
Well, me personally,
it ain't the Cole album. We know
it's not the Cole album. No, I'm past that stage. There's only so many chances you can give someone, right? So it's that time of year, February going into March. February, has largely been deemed Dilla month, so every February, I just be running up that Dilla, anything Dilla, any of his albums, his productions. Welcome to Detroit just celebrated 25 years. You know what I mean? His first official solo album, Welcome to Detroit. He had worked with, Slum Village. He had worked with The Pharcyde. He had worked with De La Soul. Obviously, Tribe as part of the UMA, as part of the, production team over there.
Shout out Dilla.
A lot of work. But his first official album was Welcome to Detroit 25 years ago.
Shout out Dilla.
Shout out Dilla. Shouts to Walt for having that in the stash so we could put it up. And yeah, man, it's just it's just one of those things where, like, no matter how much I listen to it, like I still listen in wonder, in wonder, not and wonder. I still listen in wonder as to like how he created the soundscapes he created. You know what I mean? He's just one of those producers that even though he wasn't as popular as a Neptunes or Pharrell, if you only want to count Pharrell. Kanye, Timbaland, like all of those guys, they all look up to Dilla. Kanye West, Dilla is one of his absolute, just legends. Pharrell, the same thing. Like he'll tell you the same thing, and just listening to my playlist that I have of like hundreds and hundreds of Dilla songs. It's just that time of year. It always puts me in a certain place, and it always, gives me something to shoot for. I know personally, like I've tried to implement some of the Dilla techniques in my productions. It's just, again, it's one of those things that, like, when you're in the know, like when you are part of that scene, and you listen and then you try to emulate that, or you try to like, spin it in your own way, and you're like, God damn, how did he get that time feel? How did he get that swing? How did he create that pocket? How did he chop this and loop it in the way that he did to make it sound so seamless when the chops are not seamless at all? You know, it's just one of those things where like you really realize how much of a genius somebody is when you try to do what they did and you're just like, damn, bro, like he was in another stratosphere. So shouts to Dilla, you know, definitely been listening to a lot of Dilla, you know, his own shit with Common, shit with Tribe, everything. Posthumous stuff with Raekwon and Ghostface, you know, all of that shit is legendary. And now we're going into March, and obviously in March, one starts thinking about Biggie, you know, and there's only so many things that you could say about Biggie that we haven't already said. But one of the things that, like, that now I'm thinking about is like,
you sure? Because niggas gonna get on their Twitter and
March
say
9th
that,
is on a Monday,
that
too.
Life After Death was a regional project pretty soon.
Look, Biggie is, all right, if you want me to get on my soapbox, shit, Biggie is the most complete MC to ever exist.
Wow.
Period. End of sentence. End of story. Right. I'm not trying to have this debate.
Don't really got no flaws.
He checked off every last box. Right. And for those of you that might be out there and be like, oh, but he really didn't talk about much. He didn't have, you know, that much substance. He didn't talk about, you know, issues or whatever. The very first song on Ready to Die was Things Done Changed. Go back and do the knowledge and listen to that shit. You know what I mean? He had Everyday Struggle on that album. You know, he had Suicidal Thoughts which talked on mental health on that album. So don't come over here with no bullshit about how he didn't really talk about the socio-political economics of the hood or whatever. He did that. He did it in his own way, right?
He did it all from a first person perspective.
But he did that. You know what I mean? Things Done Changed alone, you know. The swing and the pocket, the musicality of his flow and his delivery, the way he used to, and we've talked about this at length, the way that he used to just like pivot in the middle of a verse and, you know, the pocket that he had for the first 4 bars is not the same pocket he had for the next 4 bars.
Biggie flow.
And then in the next verse, he had a whole other flow with a whole other pocket. Like, y'all cannot replicate what Biggie did. One of the things I also discovered, you know, as a beat maker / producer who would, you know, just for funskies, grab a acapella and, you know, put it over one of my beats, try to remix some of the songs. When I grab Biggie acapellas, them shits are hard to sync up because
the switches,
but also just the precise pocket that he would hit to the beat that he was rhyming on was so impeccably just like tailor made.
That was the thing when I was younger, around like a little after Biggie passed and right after Hov took off, I would hear like people in the industry talk about getting inside the beat. And then when Big was doing that, and I didn't understand what they meant. I was too young and stupid. But then when I got a little bit older, I was like, oh,
yeah.
That's because Big would get so far inside the beat that it's like he would get lost. So it's like it wasn't like he was just rapping to the drums, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or like specific bar, boom, cha, boom, 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 cha, and the bar ends right there. Nah, like he's all somewhere else within that. So it's like it's hard to do. Like it's hard. What you're talking about is really hard because he would get so far outside of the original beat that he rhymed on that he might be rhyming on the snare.
Right. He might be rhyming on the kick, the snare. He might be rhyming on the bass
or the little melody that's in there. And shit, you know what I mean?
It's just at almost like at a molecular level. You know, he'd be like Ant-Man, just like, you know what I mean, shrinking down and like
press the button.
It's crazy how he got inside the beat.
The whole voice becomes an instrument, deal.
Facts. And so like. And I like right now, literally like on the way over here, I'm thinking about this and I'm putting these things together and I'm like, yo, Dilla and Biggie were really the same type of genius because they would hear or they would like experience music time in a completely different way. It's not a thing you see or hear, it's just a thing you feel and experience. And they would experience music and time in such a vastly different way than us normal humans would. So those are two geniuses that around this time of year, I'm always, delving deeper into their music. And yeah, shouts to them. RIP to the two of them. Two absolute geniuses that we lost too soon, man.
One day we gonna have to do like a little what if, and like what would a Biggie and Dilla album sound like? Do some fantasy booking.
No Cole though.
No.
No.
No what if?
No what if. No Cole what if. Not that what if.
So J1 was real mad about our what if takes. Shout out J1, he was feeling away.
The homie.
They need a balance. What are you listening to right now?
First, shout out to Sin. Two great artists. In terms of Dilla, like I feel like if you like 90s hip hop, you should really go back and do your research on Dilla. He probably made a song you love that you just didn't know he made. Like that shit has happened to me a few times. I didn't know he made Once Again back in the day.
Yeah.
Like that shit. Yeah, that shit fucked me up because that's like one of my favorite Tribe songs. But I've been keeping it kind of like modern, man. I've been really bumping this Casino, man. I've been bumping this Keem album. I think that that 3-peat with Casino, Birds and the Beads, and this shit with Kenny. I just think that I love a good back to back. If I get 2 great songs or 3 great songs back to back on the album, especially if it got 11 joints, that shit. Shout out to Keem. Sonically a great album, bro. It feels like a moment when I listen to it. It doesn't feel like I said, I know everybody, we in a super lyrical era right now, and I love that, I respect that too, but not everybody's gonna do that. Some people gonna focus more on the sonics and, just bringing you into an experience, which is dope. And low key, man, because I see a lot of people talking about it, we talk about it. I've been playing back-to-back 50 and T.I. joints and seeing how this shit low-key sounded. Yo, it's a lot closer than I thought. Prior to Future, T.I. was my favorite Atlanta artist. You know what I'm saying? In terms of prior to, I just feel like Future stole the show from me.
Yeah, you wasn't here when we had that conversation.
Yeah, I was
correct.
I was man down.
What is your take?
Like I think I truly believe 50 would win because like Get Rich or Die, bro. I just remember, bro.
Come at
like, and I wasn't even like the biggest 50 fan like at that time. I'm really
none
not
of us, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'm really not the ginormous 50 fan now. But bro,
you know what I mean?
You don't sell 11 million albums and your shit ain't crazy, bro. You get what I'm saying?
You're right.
And then the next drink, 5? And that shit was even that.
They running out the Waffle House right now.
Like, hey man, I was in Atlanta, man. First of all, shout out to very hospitable people. Everywhere I was going, they was running up to me. They was talking to me. They was showing love. Shout out to them. But nah, I just think 50 in terms of stage presence and all that. Then I don't know because T.I.
running out the Waffle House is
waka. Yo, and I went no funny shit. I went to the Waffle House like 6 times while I was
we gotta let that breathe.
Yo.
This thing is.
Yo, Waffle House got it's a lot of connotation behind Waffle House in Atlanta, bro. You gonna keep that light?
Nah, no funny shit. You just said they
running out of Waffle House and hungry as fuck. What else they got out there that's busting? The Peach Cobbler Factory, nigga.
It's so directly accurate.
Yo.
Because when I was down there for Thanksgiving, there was a Waffle House right down the block from my hotel, bro. I seen like 5 of them shits.
Just mad at them.
Mad at them, bro. So like running out the Waffle House is crazy.
And they open like all night.
Tonight, bro.
All night. Yo, take his drink, bro.
Yo.
I got a second one lined up. I ain't heard nothing yet.
And listening to T.I. rap today, he's still in great form.
Still sharp.
Like, it's really incredible. I don't think 50's in that type of mode right now. I think 50's like, I'm gonna just play my bully role and do that. But yeah, I've been listening to them. A lot of great music between the two of them, man. It's like the underground track, not like the biggest shit like with the joint where Rihanna Live Your Life. I'm talking about the shits like I'm Illy, I'm Serious. You know what I'm saying? Like the street records, 24s, everything with Toomp basically. Like it's a lot of heat but there's a lot of heat with Dre,
bro. I'm like, yo, like T.I. I think T.I. could 11 on them, bro.
It's not impossible.
I think it's possible, B.
But a lot of the heat will be coming from the Get Rich or Die Trying album.
I just feel like the on stage of it all, like everyone's saying 50 not in shape or whatever, but I think 50 Cent, the personality, is gonna be a difficult task for T.I. T.I. could be tough guy and yeah, I'm serious, but 50 Cent is a fucking maniac, bro. He's a menace.
And I think T.I. would know how to work a crowd.
But T.I., 50 Cent know how to upset you, and that's a power.
Everybody's giving.
When you get mad, you get off your square. You're not thinking straight no more, bro. We watched Dipset wilt once they got off their Squid Game.
That was crazy.
Lots. It wasn't just the music; it was them mentally. They were lost. You know what I mean?
And they everything about that wasn't right. They vibed didn't look right. They like they were just there for a check. They didn't feel like we was here to represent the set. You know, hold us down.
According to Cam, that was Jim wanted the bread.
I mean, I believe it. I believe it, man. Like
needed probably.
And for more jackets. Cold outside.
Well, I mean, it wasn't for the light bill.
Oh shit!
It's not winter in Miami.
Jimmy,
that's for sure. You know.
But yeah, a lot of Casino and a lot of 50 and T.I.
Okay.
Great music.
I'm definitely still spinning Casino, especially since I got my car back, so I can really
salute to Maxine.
Out, you know what I mean? Spinning Casino. I would say Casino is kind of like forcing the J. Cole of a lot of the conversation because it's hard to move away from Casino, especially when you put it on the big speakers, you know?
Talk.
But right now, active listening, went back to the homie G's. This wasn't planned because I'm going to tell you why, because he's rolling out like a little social media campaign that I'm seeing on the socials where he's talking about the process behind the album. And I'm like, this is ill. Like, you know, selfishly, I would like to talk to G's ourselves about the project, but what he's doing is like a little white room, nice little setup. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go back to this project. Because what I pulled a Dini. I was like, I listened to it a few times, and then I pulled the tracks that I like from it and added it to a separate scenario. But like hearing him talk about it, I'm like, let me listen again. And I said, I get it. Like he definitely a lot more personal. Like not so much superhero bars, rich bars, but a lot more personal on there. Shout out to G's for that. Like that. Seeing you do that, I wish you would have did that beforehand. I would say for your next project, because I know you watch it. Because he tells me, like, I ain't talking shit. G's, tell me a goddamn, I was listening to that, you know what I mean? So I already know I'm going to get the text. But for the next project, you should do this ahead of the release instead of after the release. I think that would be a great way to connect with niggas to really get behind the scenes and the curation and the lead up and the build up towards the project. Because just sitting down, just him in the room, nobody else, no extras, just a white room and him on the chair talking about the music made me go back to the project. I'm like, this is a little different, more personal from an artist.
Supposed to do.
Yeah, man. Then new single, I saw the On the Radar video for it, and it's finally on the DSP. Because I was watching the On the Radar video ad nauseum because it wasn't on DSPs, but it's the homie King Bimo.
Oh my God.
And Don Q, Peace Treaties, Hard. This is not for you, Sam. I'm sorry. It's not for you.
Heard. I've been spinning that Perform crazy.
Bro.
Perform by King Bimo.
You know, it's New York Bias 4 season, and King Bimo, East New York's own Don Q. I think he's from High Bridge in the Bronx.
Boogie Down.
You know what I mean? They got a song called Peace Treaty. Is if you like fun in your music and you like good energy in your car, that song right there. And quite frankly, King Bimo, like 90% of his discography, that. Like it's New York trap. We know some people don't like the trap sound of New York, but hey, he's doing it right. Like, you know, honestly, I want Bimo to go viral, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Especially for all these Southern people who got so much to say about New York, I think Bimo would make them sick. Because it will be the inverse of what initially happened when the South took over. Whereas a New York guy fully took your shit and did it at a high level. That's what Bimo's doing right now. Bimo he has a little Migos to him.
Yeah, a little Bone Thugsy too. Yeah, with the Tom flow.
But then he's rhyming on really hard drill beats. But like it's like not even like ugly drill, but like trap drill. Like I can't even really figure it out yet.
And he's talking.
And he's talking. All right, there it is. He's talking, bro. So if you like that type of shit, King Bimo, because he's on the song with Don Q, but he's when I say he's outshining Q, and Q's lyrical, but Q didn't have a chance on this song. I'm gonna be honest. King Bimo is the next guy. Like I think like 2 years ago, I said Fergie Baby and King Bimo are two guys out of New York you gotta keep your eye on. I said it right on this fucking pod. Fergie's out of here. So I'm 1 for 1 right now. Bimo is the next one. Like Bimo, and I think he's got that little medium ugly look. So he's menacing. He's not just some pretty nigga. You know what I mean? Like Bimo, like you see Bimo outside, you might want to put your hands in your pocket. He might try to rob you. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm watching the clip going on behind you.
You look at the eye contact with the camera.
He look like you want to pause but he looked like he wanted to eat the mic. Like he go,
son.
B-Mo like he just robbed 2 niggas going
aggressive.
in the hallway.
He looked hungry, bro.
And it's not just like basic spin the block, get the op raps. Like he's a thug and he's rapping about thug shit. You know what I mean? He ain't even trying to dress it up. I'm like, you know what? We need that.
But it's mingled in there with the talk of the broads.
Yeah,
like
outside New York nigga.
And how you thinking like a nigga just talking about Timbs and just, but nah, a nigga might mention like some $3,000 boots on in the fucking song. Like it just nigga like the whole thing is like thugs are stylish now. You get what I'm saying? They're not just regular. Like it's a whole different like perspective you getting now. And I like that, bro. Like even with the Migos, you know, they brought a whole different vibe, fashion wise, that we wasn't seeing from like regular artists. So
bro, King B-Mo, I'm certifying him 1,000%. 1,000%, bro.
I'm mad at him right now.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? See, you know what I mean? Like I believe that he's gonna be a young guy out of the towns, and you're gonna have to deal with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
I just hope that he plays it smart. Whatever politics, out of town politics.
Don't let nobody trick you out your
spot. Word to Pop Smoke.
Yeah.
Be smart about your decision making. Rest in peace, Pop. We are still mad that we lost you.
Bro.
But you know, we don't want you to make those similar mistakes where like niggas, you know, you post whatever on your socials, they find you, whatever.
Niggas feel untouchable.
Just be smart.
Use your mind.
Every time we get one, they take them from us. You feel what I'm saying?
Pop was right there.
Oh yeah.
Like Pop was the next one out of here, truly from New York, you know?
So that being said, and B-Mo, he an outside nigga. So you know?
Yeah.
You know how he coming.
The streets call niggas.
We are certifying him here. Shout out Macito, he co-signed it if he was here. But that's what I'm listening to right now. Go to your Apple Music, go to your Spotify, tap in with King B-Mo. We just made Sin Adam. Sin's probably gonna hate us anyway, but he's fire.
No, I think Sin will find something in there.
Real quick, have you heard any other platforms talk about King B-Mo?
No.
All right. So you heard it here first.
That's a fact.
First of all.
That's a fact because again, we are not part of the echo chamber. We are the conversation starters. Niggas, take our talking points. Don't give no credit. You know what I mean? A lot of conversations start here and it be that one person who's always watching and it ventures off and it takes on a mind of its own. And you don't even throw a little crumb back out. You know
why is it so hard to just say, yo, these guys right here had a great conversation? It made me think.
Because some of their subscribers will go down the block. That's why. You understand? It's like the drug game. If you got some good crack from the next block, you gonna tell where the rest of the niggas to get it?
If we come up with a topic that somebody had, we gave props. Shout out to the homie that used to give us the list all the time. We used to fuck with the list.
Beats, rhymes, and lists.
We always gave him his shout outs. Every time we utilize somebody's shit, we usually give a shout out, bro.
Are of a different cloth of integrity.
Apparently,
maybe we should be less integral.
Then we'll be like them. That shit is like I want to do that either.
Like, have less integrity.
Have less integrity. Fuck that. But then you let the rest of them tell it, they be like, we the jerks. Boy, I'm telling you.
The life of a New Yorker, bro.
You know? Oh. Sid, come on, man.
I'm sorry. It just popped up, man. Like, goddamn.
Is that the same one from?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
All right.
So, moving on. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell. We got Errol Eats Everything in the building. He's going to be our interview later on for this podcast.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Errol. We got some questions, my brother. We got to talk about it. So lock in with us here at the Rap Roundtable. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell. Nothing but illustrious guests here. Again, we not bullshitting. We all about hip hop. We all about rap. No extras. That's why matter of fact, we're going to get into that later. Let's move on. So I got a topic here near and dear to my heart because it's New York Bias 4 season. We are fully entrenched in it. New York Bias 4 is on the way, and it's y'all fault that it's happening. We was chilling. We did a trilogy. Usually after the third part of the trilogy, we just let it die. But now you're forcing us to do a fourth one. Why are the South still allowed to be underdogs? That is the question that I have for the chat. Let me know. I'm gonna put up a poll too. They've been dominating rap. Let's say 2005. I'll give them 05 to now 2026. The South as a region has dominated rap. That is 21 years of dominance. That means if you was born in 2005, your whole life, you're legal now. You can legally drink. You've been listening to mostly Southern rap. You have no clue of what the past life of rap with East Coast or West Coast dominance sounded like, or what it looked like, or what it felt like, right? But then, for some reason, I open my social media, And people from the South are still acting as if they're fighting uphill against New Yorkers or New York tastes or New York opinions, and they just and they in one breath they say New York ain't been popping for X amount of years, but in the next breath they keep talking about how unfair we are to their artists. They still have this chip on their shoulder, this little brother energy, and I'm very confused about it. And there's a couple of tweets that I want to read here that support this logic, you know, and it's from our guy Tony the Dome.
Tony.
He says, you do realize a dude that grew up in Georgia or Alabama might not look at Only Built for Cuban Links like they look at Thug Motivation 101, right? You do realize a dude in ATL might not look at Raekwon the way they look at Jeezy, right? I need y'all to travel more. I remember partying in ATL when TM 101 dropped. He goes on to say, Cuban Links and 101 are both iconic for their regions and their demographics. Both had a movement. I saw both in real time. The best is your preference. In the South, TM 101 was a movement, literally. Neither album has a bad song on them to me. But then there's more. There's one more tweet that I need to get to here because it's irking me tremendously. I want to make sure I find it because there's a lot of Twitter activity. Oh, no, actually, that was it. Because I realized I responded to that tweet as well. Okay. So, he's talking about TM 101. Only Built for Cuban Links. Regionality. Things of this nature. 2 albums that are about 11 years apart, give or take. What year did Cuban Links
10. 95 and then 2005.
There you go. 10 years. 2 different worlds of the music business. Mm-hmm. And this whole thing about regionality and traveling more, once again, backhandedly making it seem as though the New York region impact was solely limited to the northeast. Like, what are we doing here, Sen?
I don't know, because I'll tell you this. You know, I went to the Wu-Tang World Tour. I don't know. I mean, or national tour, I should say. Let me not overstate it, because then, you know, people will be in the comments.
I'm sure there have been world tours. Wu-Tang is worldwide.
Right.
Wu-Tang will have a world tour.
But the one last year, you know what I mean? You know, the Raekwon of it all, the Cuban Links of it all rang off heavily. And then, you know, he was at Brooklyn Paramount. You know what I mean?
With Havoc.
Wu-Tang, the thing that's bothering me about this is that, like, by extension, all of a sudden, not just Raekwon and not just Only Built for Cuban Links, but Wu-Tang in general, all of a sudden, are just regional, right?
When did that happen?
It's just you know, only I literally had somebody tell me only New York people fuck with Wu-Tang or think that Wu-Tang shit is good. Here's what I think is happening, and I was gonna save this later for my lawn, because my lawn was gonna be is full of, you know, this nonsense coming out.
It better still be.
It will be, but what I really feel is that, because I wanted to provide some pushback to you, because you said, let's say 2005 to 2026. I don't know about up to 2026. 2026 we're 2 months in.
You don't still think they dominating?
Huh?
You don't still think they dominating as far as the overarching sound?
Today?
Atlanta's kind of in shambles, man.
I mean,
I said the South. Atlanta's toast.
Oh, the South. The South in general. All right, we got Glorilla.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got But Atlanta,
BX the plug, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. But Atlanta itself, that shit is toast. They're in shambles, right? And so, like, I feel like, you know, I feel like they're in such a bad place right now that right now more than ever, they just want to tear down pillars, specifically New York pillars, hip hop pillars that have been in place since before the South got something to say, since before, you know, Andre 3000 got up on that stage and said that, you know, y'all got to pay more attention to the South. There's been these pillars, you know, Only Built for Cuban Links being one of them. And now all of a sudden, I don't even know where this tweet originated, right? But I know the conversation started making the rounds around Twitter, and it got to me, and I'm like, I am absolutely not having this, because if Thug Motivation 101, you deem it a classic, absolutely fine, right? It was a classic. It had its moment in time. It had its impact. It had the snowman t-shirts. It had all of that. It reached up here to New York, right? It had reach, right? But what we're not about to do is throw like integral pillars like Only Built for Cuban Links under the bus just because you want to prop up Thug Motivation 101. Right?
Talk.
If it again, however you feel about Thug Motivation 101, think it's a classic. I'll be completely honest before anybody's like, oh, it sounds like Sin doesn't like Jeezy or doesn't like TM 101. I don't. I'm not a Jeezy fan. You know what I mean? But I do understand. I remember all of the Snowman t-shirts.
You didn't have a Snowman t-shirt?
I absolutely did not.
Movement.
You know what I mean? Down to my knees? No. I wasn't doing that. Okay. The songs, the anthems, the Jay-Z feature, everything.
Crazy. Kanye West.
It was a movement.
Everything.
It was a moment, right? But here's the thing. Only Built for Cuban Links has been standing as a pillar in hip hop as one of the greatest albums of all time. And nobody has ever bothered it.
Checking every box,
Matter of fact,
nobody ever bothered it.
I got a very important...
Nobody ever had any pushback. And now all of a sudden you want to throw TM 101 in the mix. And now out of the woodworks, TM 101 was the better album. So that's the one I listened to.
You don't even got to say all of that, Sin.
Crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me.
What was the biggest single from Only Built for Cuban Links?
Fucking Ice Cream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Legendary record.
One of the greatest instrumentals of all time that resonates from coast to coast, region to region. What are we talking about?
That also resulted in its own t-shirts, honestly. So if you want to talk that.
What are we talking about?
Iconic.
So I think in terms of that specific conversation, I really think that Atlanta specifically, I don't know about the whole South, but Atlanta specifically feels like things are bleak. The horizon is bleak. Thug cooked. Lil Baby washed. 21 Savage flopped. Yachty
tried to buy views.
Trash. Yachty's been trash for 10 years, and they still trying to push him on. Bro, there is nothing great coming out of Atlanta. There's nothing successful coming out of Atlanta right now.
You niggas
washed, right? And so now more than ever, they want to look up here and be like, what can we tear down from New York? And somebody somewhere, I still don't know where this whole conversation started from. I don't know where the original tweet came from, but somebody somewhere said, apparently, TM 101 is better than Only Built for Cuban Links.
I mean, I'm interested in the conversation. I can understand the better conversation.
Can't. No. Here's the thing. You're right. You can't.
I respect that too. But once you start talking about greater,
there's levels.
There's better than there's greater.
There's levels.
And correct. And you're also right. There is levels, and it's like you want to show up. We're all here having a conversation about Spike Lee, Ryan Coogler, and you want to show up talking about Tyler Perry. Like, we're not gonna have that's not.
There's levels.
The's levels.
Tyler Perry is disrespectful.
That's brutal.
Tyler Perry's incredibly successful. He had his moment.
Bro.
He's had his impact.
Don't do the Jeezy Medias.
I can't send you on your own, bro.
Jadias, we can't do
Tyler Perry.
We're not doing that, bro.
You're wild,
bro. Fine.
Should be.
Fine.
Yo, you could have said that Jeezy was cooler, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, damn.
Jeezy's not.
I don't even think he think Jeezy cool with him.
Jeezy's not cooler, bro. Jeezy's not cooler.
Yo, Tyler Perry.
Jeezy's not cooler.
I know you're not feeling Jeezy, but you don't gotta disrespect the snowman like that, bro.
No. There's great entertaining
a fat suit shaped like a snowman.
There's great entertaining music, and then there's art.
All right. I think
Cuban Links is art.
I think 101 is art too, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
It's not,
but it's
not on the same.
It's not on the same level.
It's not on the same level. There's levels.
Yeah, one was like art. One was like colored pencil. One was like a paintbrush though. And I fuck with G.
Yeah,
one was like
one is
art.
Picasso. The other one is Bob Ross. We can call Bob Ross.
Bob Ross is a classic dude.
Yo, Bob Ross.
One is Picasso. One is Akira Toriyama. It's still he.
Little Basquiat. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas draw Dragon Ball photos every day.
I mean,
I'm being a little slanderous. I'm being slanderous. I know I am.
I just feel like Raekwon checked like every box on that album. You wanted lyricism, you got it. You wanted anthems,
I'm sorry, say
it.
that one again?
What? Lyricism?
There you go. Thank you.
Like, no one's gonna jump out the window and say, yo, Jeezy was mad lyrical on TM108. That's a box that just wasn't checked. And that's okay. But when we talking about all the boxes shit, like we talking about a pretty girl, man, you got the pretty face, you got the good shape, you got the cannons, you got the yams. Like sometimes she just might be cute. You know what I'm saying? That might be enough.
But
I don't take away from her being a girl, but when you stand next to the joint with the she just not going to hit it to see. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. Like,
but to
say want the description. She got the dimples with the tattoo. Jeezy come on.
She
got the fat ass. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. To bring my point home though, like because the larger conversation is about the South in general. So I don't want to single Atlanta out as much as I have, but in all honesty, I think to varying degrees, the South in general has that same chip on their shoulders still to this day.
Well,
right?
why though?
30 years later, and they still feel the need to knock down New York hip hop pillars that have been standing since forever. Look what fucking Yachty just did, calling out the Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Like the very, like, for all intents and purposes, to a lot of people, the first hip hop song.
Little Yachty.
I know it's not really the don't come at me in the comments.
Nigga said the 90s too when he talked about the song.
But I'm saying, like, you have such a chip on your shoulder that you just have to tear down a pillar of hip hop that originated here so that you can feel better down there.
Why do we care about what the mascot has to say?
Well, he's part of the conversation, no?
He's Mr. Met.
Mascot
he's the Philly fanatic.
No, I get that, but he's part of the conversation.
No, I'm not telling you not to, kid. I'm disrespecting Little Yachty. Is my point. You know what I mean? He doesn't matter,
bro.
And then immediately after that freestyle that he dropped, it just speaks to why he doesn't matter. Little Yachty is literally a parasite to hip hop culture, bro. Like to me, when I talked about it about a month ago, when I said that there's guys who rap because that's their job, and then there's people who live hip hop.
Jobbers.
Lil Yachty, his 9 to 5 is rap. Like, he don't really love this shit. That's his job. You know what I mean? Right. And because he never did the knowledge, he never really. Matter of fact, let's get into the rest of this topic because I usually go last, but I'm here now. I'm sorry, baby. I apologize. But it's like, this whole underdog mentality is really getting to me, bro. Even like these tweets from Tony the Dome. He's not even from Atlanta. He's from North Carolina. And I know he's been in his North Carolina bag post cold drop or whatever the case may be. And I'm proud of him because for a very long time, he's been a New York at Jace platform. He's talked about a lot of New York rap. And I think I even called him out about that, and I see he's taking heed and he's been leaning into his South bag or whatever the case may be. But it's like, to play the regionality card, like if you wanted to keep it music and say, all right, for its time, 101 landed better than Only Built for Cuban Links, I might have a difficult time arguing with that because the stats say otherwise. Like 101 was a moment. From city to city, t-shirts, massive singles, big cosign, so on and so forth. Yeah, you if that was the argument. But then when you talk about you gotta travel more, so you've essentially put Wu-Tang in a box by way of Raekwon, and that's where you lose me. And it's like, to say you gotta travel more, you know how much niggas get on the internet who have never left their hometown and have mad opinions about cities they've only seen on TV or have only experienced on the internet. And the way the internet is so fine-tuned now with social media that if Dini decided he wanted to be a social media personality and cosplay New York culture, some cafone in fucking whatever state, some flyover state, will believe that that's New York because of Dini's social media presence. Like, shout out to the homie Capri Fernandez. If you watch his videos all the time, you'll think that's just New York. That is a hyper exaggeration of New York nightlife, New York street life, so on and so forth. When we watch Desi Banks, we don't think that's the South, right?
Facts.
But I think the overarching issues, and this, I'm not putting this on Tony because he's ahead. I'll give him that. But y'all run around like underdogs and you have so much to say, but y'all don't love hip hop. Y'all never have. Y'all have never loved hip hop. In fact, that region, majority, I'm gonna say 85%, because there's a 15%, and a lot of them are in the state of Louisiana. Sorry. Texas, Louisiana, Memphis. I think that's where the real hip hop heads are, in the South. Mississippi, all those other states.
Yes,
but the most successful state, Georgia, y'all didn't love hip hop. Y'all looked at rap as an opportunity to get to a bag. It just became the next hustle, but it was a very lucrative hustle. And it shows in y'all opinions. Like we talked about the Lil Yachty thing. That's just like Lil Yachty has never done the knowledge on music as far as hip hop goes. He doesn't have any kind of grasp on the fights niggas had to fight to get where they had to go. The battles, the rivalries. I'm willing to argue that Yachty's barely into what was happening in Atlanta. Old Atlanta. Dungeon Family era Atlanta. T.I. era young Atlanta when him and Luda was getting into it, shit like that, to really get a proper grasp of what battles these niggas had to fight to get to where they had to go. They just looked at it as, I could make these words rhyme and I could get a little advance check and I'm gonna get my family out the hood. And I respect that aspect of it because it's a very big check, right? And you can change, it's a life-changing opportunity. But the disconnect between New York and Atlanta specifically has always been the love of hip hop. When we get into certain conversations and we get passionate, it's because we saw the birth of it. We saw the evolution of it. We lived it. We in some cases, we were right next to these rappers. They were local. They were around us. Their songs resonated. Then they played this regional argument. And it's like, bro, this is where the internet could allow you to lie. You can plug into your social media, like the Matrix said, like the digital representation, like the digital representation of your physical self or some shit like that. They said in the Matrix. That's what social media is now. Like you get to plug into your little accounts. You get to be whoever
you want to be.
Right?
Ready Player One type shit.
But in my youth, and that's why I said you need pillars like us who are old enough to call bullshit on a lot of shit. When I was a kid and I would take those road trips with my pops, we had to go from state to state. My pops is in North Carolina, and he was deep in North Carolina, borderline South Carolina. You dig? You know? And I would hear radio stations in every state down the East Coast. You think I was just hearing some unknown Southern rapper on the radio? On hip-hop radio? My pops is ahead, so he was listening to the same shit I was listening to. He was listening to the same... there were no randoms. If you was popping in New York, you was popping in Atlanta... Not Atlanta, Los Angeles, and you got on the radio, you were popping nationwide. So whatever I was hearing in New York radio on Hot 97, I was hearing in Delaware, in Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, you name it. So this whole idea that niggas is regional is cap, because big radio was playing whatever was popping, regardless of city, it was getting spun. Period. The only difference, like the daytime radio and the nighttime radio in New York, because there's no clue tape. You know what I mean? There was no case lays. There were no clues. There was so you wasn't getting those mixtape cuts. But if you was like popping as a rapper and your single was in rotation, you was getting played up and down the Eastern Seaboard.
This is facts.
So this whole idea that it was regional, that like y'all niggas are liars, and that's the shit that gets me mad because like y'all get on the net and y'all try to make some New Yorkers have this inflated view of self. When in all actuality, if you was a poppin' New York act, you wasn't popping in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Philadelphia, nigga. You was popping up and down the Eastern Seaboard. Well, if you was popping in the South, all these things who came up at a certain window, they talked about selling their music out of the trunk. They wasn't getting spins. They wasn't getting spins. They was on the street. They was putting fucking miles in, nigga. Who was on the radio then? Who was on the radio? If you were selling it out your trunk, trying to get to the radio station, who was on the radio? The niggas from the other cities. So this whole idea that y'all lie about and y'all try to make it seem as though because they have this chip on their shoulder and this little brother energy about New York and our inflated view of self, when in all reality, I tried to break it down to y'all a few weeks ago about market share and how that works. Yeah. New York's market share pre-internet, massive, nigga. The internet is the only thing that kind of hindered New York's market share. And it still ain't hurt it that much because at the end of the day, most of the money's still in the big markets. New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Miami, maybe Atlanta. I don't know how much money you really, like, I don't know how big of a market you even call Atlanta. No disrespect. I'm just talking about as market share goes. I think Dallas might have a bigger market share than Atlanta right now. I'm going to do the knowledge on that. But at the end of the day, back in the day, if New York and LA dictated the terms of what was popping, it was played every fucking where. So this I think ice cream was only popping in the 5 boroughs? Hell no. Absolutely not. That was a big radio smash coming off the heels of Wu-Tang's rap takeover, nigga. Facts. Method Man was a household name by everywhere. 94. By 94, he was popping. Greatest out of here. Bro.
Dirty alongside Mariah.
What are we talking about? So when Tony get on the net and say regional and travel more and whatever the case is, like, it's one thing to compare and say that one-on-one's impact landed harder than Cuban Links. I might agree with that. I think it had a bigger impact. I don't think that it's the greater body of work, but I think what Jeezy did with that landed in a way that Cuban Links just didn't, you know? But if you start talking about like playing and it only was only here, but it wasn't there, you're a liar. I'm sorry. And he's older than all of us. And you know better. So you just saying that shit for traction, like you fucking engagement farming at that point. Because if me at 11, I could say, let's say 95. If me at 11 is in my pop's car driving to North Carolina, taking that 10 to 12 hour drive, and I heard ice cream on the radio in various states on my way to North Carolina, how is that regional? In North Carolina, again, spins. You know what song was really big in North Carolina when I was out there a few times during they run fucking 112. When 112 first popped off, they had that song "Come See Me." Popping on the radio. Stilo popping on their radio. Them niggas the ladies from fucking Las Vegas. Yeah. Big spins. Missy was popping in North Carolina. Like, these are all different records. Missy, you could say Missy might not have been from New York, but she was heavily East Coast affiliated at the time. Before regionality was a thing, she was considered East Coast. We
didn't assign her to be in South.
What are you talking about? What I'm saying? Like, so it's like mad shit was on the radio. So why are we lying for clicks? Like, it's cap. You know, I tried to bring my personal life into it, but it's like, nah, we gotta stop lying now, bro. Because I heard these songs in different states. Because I traveled. I've left the country. I've left the state. So what are we talking about? Why do we keep lying and trying to like downplay the impact of New York? Like why do y'all need to smack down the city to lift yours up? Y'all had it for 20 years. Your thoughts, Diddy, before we move on.
Like, Tone kind of lost me with the tweet, man. Because the tweet was almost like saying not everybody wears Jordan 2s and black jeans and yeah, but I have this on right now. So when you said like not every nigga listening to like only built for Cuban Links as 101, my nigga, you probably were the one that was affected by that album. You get what I'm saying? You were the person who heard the New York hip hop and it settled with you, bro.
I mean, look at this platform.
Like, we met you guys talking about Nas. Like, we didn't have conversations about T.I. and Luda and Jeezy, Future. That's not what brought a lot of these pods together. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of times, a lot of these Southern pods are based on New York artists. So to say like, to say that is kind of crazy. I just thought that the tweet in and of itself is crazy, and the whole we gotta travel more, bro. Like, nah, like this shit is everywhere. Like when Jeezy first touched down, the rush he had in New York was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
One could argue that the New York rushes would send them worldwide.
My dude. Like when I tell you them shirts were flying off the shelves, like mad niggas was bumping Jeezy the same way like when during that time how mad New Yorkers was bumping Wayne. You know, it's just like
don't say that too loud.
Hey man, it is what it is. We can't deny that things happen because we don't like them. You feel what I'm saying? Or we're not a fan of them. I've seen all this shit play out, and I don't know how old niggas are, but like we've seen it. We've seen it. Like to say like to use Only Built for Cuban Links too, like. Of all albums you could have used, if he said like to Cal, I would have been like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I get it. It wasn't the biggest in the world.
Cal had one of the biggest records with Mary.
But there's like no exactly.
You wasn't listening to You All I Need,
and there's no failures. Where's the failure on Only Built for Cuban Links, bro? The album is iconic. One of Nas's all-time greatest verses is on that album. We got hits for days, bro. Like, and like I said, in terms of lyricism, check. World building, check. Storytelling, check. Visuals, check. Style, check. Like their own lingo, check. Like that's what I'm to check it with Jeezy in terms of vibes and drug bars. You know what I'm saying? I love Jeezy, but it's just not comparable, bro.
How can one of the iconic pillars of art and rap be considered a regional masterpiece?
That's
Go fuck
crazy,
yourself,
bro.
With that rhetoric.
Even like Rolling Stones, that should be like in the top 10 like list of like fucking 100 albums.
And that's where I want to add to this conversation because like I like. As I hear you all talk, like I see a parallel between, and again, you know, we saw the results of the poll. Like, y'all don't want us talking politics.
Political shit, right?
We get it.
It's all political now.
420 votes and 64% said
but,
no.
But I see the parallels of like how the political landscape looks today, and how how the hip hop landscape, how the thoughts, the sentiments, is what I was looking for. How the sentiments of the hip hop landscape feels today. That whole region, that whole southern region, they look at the coast as like elitist, overly intellectual, and they want, a lot of times they want to like push back on that. They feel that we're pretentious. They feel like, we're just like, we have this elitist mind state. And, on the flip side of that, I think there's a lot of anti-intellectualism that's going on in certain regions of the country where they look at the coast and they're like, oh, we don't fuck with that intellectual shit. We don't fuck with the artsy shit. We don't do art here. We do vibes over here. Like that's the feeling that I get out of these conversations because why is Thug Motivation 101 even brought up against Cuban Links? Like, how did that conversation? They're from two different regions, 10 years apart.
Two classics are classics, but they're not in the two classics. Don't got to be in the same boat.
I don't understand how that conversation even began, right? And so that's how I feel like in hip hop right now. There is a lot, maybe not so much towards the West Coast, but towards New York. There's a lot of, New York is pretentious. New York is,
Well, New Yorkers are not very likable. Let's call it what it is.
I mean, it's a lot, bro. It's the
as New Yorkers, we know that once we leave our city, it could go either way with our disposition.
That's a fact.
But you just said, like, I don't want to say. Well, I guess I could. We kind of like dumbed them down, if you get what I'm saying. I say that, but in terms of like, imagine like being a lyricist is basically like. Let me give you to like this. Let's say like
take your time.
We're lyrical Muslims, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Atlanta niggas, y'all like pork. You know what I'm saying? And it's like our base is that there can't be no pork. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the base.
So we like 5%.
That's our base. Their base is like, nah, bro. Y'all niggas gotta add the pork in for the recipe to really. And I feel like we always were about lyrics.
So we're diametrically opposed.
We're super opposed and we looking at them like y'all just can't get the lyricism. They looking at us, y'all just can't get the vibes. And so it's always been like this back and forth. Y'all not cool enough. Y'all not smart enough. It's always been this weird back and forth. Like you just said. It's but bro, like I just feel like there's been plenty of New York artists that weren't like super lyricists. And there's been plenty of Atlanta, Southern artists who have been lyricists, you know. So obviously both, bro. I just feel like that's the box they put us in. These niggas just want that lyrical, smirical shit. They ain't trying to catch no vibes, but we had that locked in too.
But at the end of the day, like how long is it gonna take for them to let this shit
Never.
go?
No, you don't never let you never un little brother shit. You never.
Not even that. Not even that. Yes, that, but not even that. They are holding on to it because essentially they feel, and maybe it's true to a certain degree, that at a certain point in time, New Yorkers feel like they was just some stupid Southern niggas, and they too dumb to do lyricism. And I think that resentment has resonated over the years.
So to go from that to like towering niggas over in the game, it's like, yo, we the dumb niggas, but we got over you niggas. Kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's what the energy is.
It's like that.
That's why they always run with that line about the South has something to say.
It might not be verbally expressed, but that little tension is there, bro. Like it's definitely there.
Yeah, and that predates rap. The North and South energy about feeling like who's smarter than and all of that. Yeah, that predates rap. If anything, it's just I forget the word. Shit, like. That's the word I was looking for, but hello. Yeah, yeah.
It's winning the battle.
But this it's just like a side of that whole situation, because whether black or white, there is an issue between like North and South as far as like people who are from bigger cities always look at the smaller town people like they're less than or they're not as smart as or things of that nature.
Lingos, accents, you know.
So I think that this is rap is just a basically. Oh man, I had the word. It's a word that I want to. You know what I mean?
Microcosm,
not microcosm. Collateral damage. Rap is collateral in that argument. You know what I mean?
I see.
That's basically what it is. It's just the latest tier of that argument.
That's what gets thrown out.
When we're dead and gone, there's still going to be North and South issues because of that energy until the internet somehow finds a way to homogenize everything word to sin. You know what I mean? But we got to move on.
But the thing is, like, sorry.
I know. Have the last word, bro.
No, I know we're moving on, but like to a certain extent, the internet did in fact do that.
Yeah, it did.
But they're still mad
because it's not finished yet.
And there's no real true communication, bro.
What's the finish line? What's
well, if you ask,
what's the ultimate goal?
What we've seen in the last, not even, I'd say 2022, whenever Griselda really went viral. 2022, you would say?
Maybe 2021.
Since around then, it's been a war between stupefying rap and making it real dumb. Like, and I'm talking about the little pumps, not the Southerners, but the little pumps of the world and the trippy reds of the world.
The pill poppers.
Right. They had a stronghold in this shit.
They had a movement.
Right?
Yeah.
Emo rap.
And the Griselda and company comes about, the powers that be open certain doors for them. You see them with M, you see them with Hove. Nas come through, drops 6 straight. Clips now. Kendrick with the battle. Then he drops G and X. King doing what he's doing. It's right now, we're witnessing a war that's not being reported by no major outlets because they refuse to talk about it. Whereas like rap is trying to purify itself and get back to a better balance between, because rap has never always been super serious and lyrical. It's always been fun shit in rap. And you see in a certain group of niggas trying to balance that shit out, but no one's talking about it loud enough for it to matter. And then you see Spotify with that shit they put out.
Right.
So
shit,
what we're seeing right now is controlling the zeitgeist. And the lyrical guys want to have more say in that shit.
Who was from Atlanta on that list, by the way?
There was no Atlanta.
There you go. So they see what we see. And this is right. And this is what we got to move on. But to land this, I think they see the writing on the wall. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They've been seeing it for a while.
Doechii, King,
right.
BEATZ,
Exactly.
so on and so forth.
Right. Not too much from New York either. Like we're willing to admit, Cali is far and away. Kendrick, Keem, Doechii.
Who they pick from New York?
Well, Doechii's Florida, but she's TDE, so I get what you're saying.
He probably got a lot of streams, but he's
TDE, right? Yeah. So,
because I was like, they picked that guy. I was like, why don't they just pick Zeddy Will if that's the case?
Zeddy Will got some joints.
He got a wave right now, but they picked some dude who ain't been popular.
Somebody was just talking to me about Zeddy Will today.
He got some joints. Good vibes.
They see the writing on the wall, you know what I mean, and they're lashing out, and we see it. We see it happening in real time. You know what I mean? You had your run, you had your stronghold for a very, very long time. But at this moment in time,
are they going through what we went through? This is what essentially, right? The relinquishing.
Maxito said this like 2 months ago. Said Atlanta's in the same spot we were in 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. The relinquishing,
the demise is usually a rough one.
Let it go.
We had a hard time letting go of shit, and we're seeing it with Atlanta. But we got to move on. We're going back to New York.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk about Jay-Z's 30th anniversary for Reasonable Doubt, and is he, ain't he dropping an album? But I guess I would say, you know, as the whole fan on the panel, like, I'm curious about like where rap is sonically, artistically, lyrically right now. Like, what could a Jay-Z album even sound like in 2026 if he was to drop? Like, what direction would he go? Like, we had him do that spoken word thing last year sometime, which was terrible. So it's like it makes me nervous about what he's listening to, what kind of bag he's in right now. Like, what could a whole album sound like? Is it a situation of be careful what we wish for, or can he land another plane? Can he stick the landing with another fire album, son?
I would always bet on the side of yes. If it's, you know, if we're going by like 50-50 splits, I say there's more than a 50-50 chance that Hov would come out with something that we would want to hear. Just by, I mean, you gotta respect them enough and respect the discography enough. You know, everybody's had their duds
for sure.
I was not as big of a fan of 444. Most of us here, we're not big fans of 444. But you know, the general hip hop audience, they were here for it.
They call it a classic.
You know, they call it a classic. I don't know where you hear classic, but you know, it was you know, it was you know, like a podcast put to track. You know, but. You just, you know, you got to give Jay-Z the benefit of the doubt with his resume, his discography, you know, and the fact that he's been away from music for so long could be, you know, a two-sided coin. Either A, he'll be too out of touch, right? Or B, you know, he may be quietly listening, and you know, he may be finding the you know, the right you know, the right sonics, the right packaging for what he wants to deliver musically. You know, right now we have we might be talking about this in a second. We have SWIZZ BEATZ about to work with StoveGod Cooks. You know, that might be a precursor, right? If SWIZZ BEATZ delivers on this StoveGod Cooks album, we know Jay-Z and SWIZZ BEATZ have a long-standing relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, they have bangers together. You know, maybe Jay-Z and SWIZZ can deliver. I wouldn't want him to look towards Timbaland right now because he's on that AI bullshit, and you know, a lot of his shit is sounding like very cookie cutter, very AI-ish, very, you know, uninspired. But Pharrell just came off of
a classic,
the Clips, a classic with the Clips.
Yep.
Link up with Pharrell. Hit Boy delivering for Nas. Link up with Hit Boy. There's a lot of signs right now musically that points towards producers that could, you know, give Jay-Z the musical landscapes that he would need to deliver some good music. And I believe that, you know, if he were to do that, we'd get some good music out of it.
All right. Fair play. Dina, your thoughts on what could a Jay-Z album sound like in 2026? And are you concerned about it not necessarily landing?
Dark. Very dark. Like, I feel like Jay has been going through a lot of shit over like the last 5 to 10 years. And I think this is the perfect moment to like delve into that. You know, I mean, we can talk about it, but there's, I mean, files and names and fucking casino denials. You know what I'm saying? Like, people question his pockets. People question his integrity as a man. Like, there's like so much ground to cover. Sin talked about it. I would do like he used to do for his albums. Like, go lock in with Pharrell. See what Pharrell got in the tuck. Listen to those. See what you got. Take something out of that. I feel like Hov is the guy. Like, he listens to the beat and the beat talk to him. The beat gonna talk to him and tell him what to say. I just feel like he has a lot to say. He just needs the production to help him get it out there. Like, in terms of SWIZZ, maybe SWIZZ. After listening to Welcome to My Garden, bro, my whole perspective on SWIZZ has changed. Like, we can talk about that later though. But like Hit Boy, Alchemist, like there's a lot of artists that Jay I almost want to say us to get on. We always wanted to hear like with some fresh Alchemist sound, like with some Hov. You know what I'm saying? Like not on some D'Angelo type shit, but on some real shit. Look what Pharrell did for the Clips. Look what Hit Boy did for Nas. Like you said, like I just think he has a lot to talk about. There's his kids growing up, you know? Like him and Beyonce been together for how many years? There's a lot of grown man aspects. There's a lot of trial and tribulation. I think he has a lot to talk about, bro. And I think it's going to be very dark because a lot of what he has to talk about is kind of like not positive. You know, a lot of it is like his name being drugged through the fucking mud, bro. I mean, and you name it. By ex-colleagues, by friends, shout out to Dame Dash, by people he has bonds with, you know, not to mention a bunch of people who just hate his guts because they see him as the capitalist. And it's just a lot to talk about, bro. Like, I don't think we're just gonna be getting Rafe talk, you know. I don't think we're gonna be getting my
Rashad,
you know, my crib got 700,000 rooms. I don't think we're gonna get that, bro. I think we're gonna get a lot of like, y'all niggas have no idea what I'm going through right now. And if you were in these shoes, you wouldn't be able to handle it the way I'm handling it. Like, say what you want about Hov. He hasn't been popping out talking crazy about none of this shit. His name's being drugged through the mud. Twitter was doing that man nutty bridging. Yeah. Sonics, I feel like Jay always provided a balance, no matter what era we were in. I mean, okay, 444 is but even Magna Carta had some joints. Had some.
But Matt, I'm like the only nigga who likes that album.
It's got some joints.
I love that album. I love that.
This shit with Ross. This shit with Shorty. Girl Wonder, whatever.
Facts. Like, I think Magna Carta is better than 444, but I'm on the island with that.
Even Kingdom Come got some joints. Like every J album always has some joints, no matter what the time was. He kind of covered the ground with that. I think he could do that. And I'm like, who don't want to help Jay-Z? Who would not get in the booth for Jay-Z and be like, yo, let's really make this happen? I think he has everything to his advantage. It's just what the music will sound like in terms of like, will he be able to shed the darkness? Will we be able to get, because Hov's always been bright. You get what I'm saying?
I don't know about that.
When I say bright, my fault, Sin. Jay can make selling fucking a rock to a fiend sound almost therapeutic and poetic. You get what I'm saying? He just has the ability to do that. Like some people are savant to certain things. You know? So I just feel like but it's gonna be dark, bro. Like what are the golden nuggets in Jay life what we see, like in terms of like on Twitter, like how they cover all the negative? I just feel like it's gonna be dark. The music gonna be dark. And I think you're not gonna get slaps. You're gonna get like stories. You're gonna get scenarios. This album's gonna make you think.
Well, here's
I don't think you're gonna get slaps.
Do we want a dark album from Jay-Z?
I kind of do, bro. Like I would love to see his perspective.
He's on his own.
Hey man, bro. Like outside of like the other niggas who've been redacted, like how many people have outside of like
you want a DMX type album?
Nah, not dark. Like I don't want niggas growling on it. I don't want niggas growling on the records. B. I'm just talking about like.
You gotta come out with a prayer.
Produced by Derringer and Conductor.
I don't need that.
Conductor.
But I'm talking about like. Yo, like some shit like if you ever flew the 7 seas with just 2 flips of a breeze. I want to hear I want to hear some shit like where like it's gonna push me to be like, yo, like that's a perspective I just don't know in life. I want to hear some fresh perspectives. We all know about niggas selling drugs. We all about knowing niggas 100 bitches. We all know about everybody got money. I'm talking about like some real life shit. The way 444 was supposed to be for niggas, I kind of want the 444 the way I wanted it to be. I feel like that was a life lesson for niggas, but not the life lessons I wanted from Jay. I think Jay has a lot more to give.
Well, that's the thing about 444 that we said on this platform, or was it this platform or my old joint? I don't remember.
Bro,
what is going on?
That's crazy.
Batman as Jay-Z. Nah, that Hard Knock Life is hard. That shit hard.
Hard Knock Life is hard.
The Hard Knock Life.
You wild.
It's crazy.
Yo, I'm about to Google after
Batman
you leave. I need all of that.
But yeah, that the whole reasonable doubt, turning 31, about to get his master's back. There's just so much introspection I feel like he can give us, man.
I think with 444, like, as we talked about, for us as men individually, we were already where he was at rapping, as far as like the life skills he was rhyming about, experiences. We were already there.
So if you weren't there, that shit was gospel.
It was and I think that was the disconnect. You gotta think about it. We like Jay was rapping about it, but niggas already had good credit. Niggas was homeowners.
Had ladies.
Niggas was parents. You know what I'm saying? Everything he was rhyming about, niggas was already there in some form of fashion at the point of that release. So it just didn't land the same. But what I would say for me, to me, this is the most noise around Jay's name since the Blueprint. And what I mean by that is people were starting to turn on Jay after Volume 3, as far as like being too money centric, not being hip hop, about the dollar, about the glitz, the glamour, the women, not having any substance in his rhymes. And that was the whole thing about, do you listen to lyrics or do you just skim through it? You know, because Hov is, Hov has always been a money guy. Like, that's the thing where I used to get annoyed with people, is like, if you listen to Reasonable, like his subject matter been his subject matter from the first line on Reasonable Doubt. What are we saying? You know what I mean? If you really was listening to Jay-Z, his subject matter has been the subject matter the entire time. So he had a chip on his shoulder and he gave us the Blueprint. In the midst of the Blueprint, gave us some, like, one of the best diss songs during the greatest battle ever. I don't think I'm giving it to Kendrick versus Drake. I still think Hov and Nas is the greatest battle ever. I think Kendrick and Drake is a close second.
Less fuckery, I feel like, involved too.
Yeah, but it's just, I would say because it was the matchup was much closer. Like Kendrick really got Drake out of there.
He's whipping feet.
Like Nas and Hov was really scrapping. Even after Ether dropped, they were still throwing bombs at each other. The casuals believe it stopped at Ether. We know it didn't stop at Ether.
Right.
It was a great fade. You know what I mean?
These are two New York niggas, so there's a lot of history,
right,
as opposed to a Canadian and a West Coast nigga.
Nah, Drake just ain't show up how he was supposed to. That's the end of it. And that's why I always felt like it should have been Cole. Cole would have fought if Cole wanted to fight.
Hey, we seen he didn't.
I digress. So, giving us that album with all the noise surrounding him and how he ended up dropping a 5-micer through that noise, and you look at the kind of noise that's around him now that started with the whole NFL deal and the whole Kaepernick deal all the way through. We jokingly talked about it in the past about it's not Illuminati no more, it's the Epstein list and all this and that. So I think with all that noise around his name, he has a ton to talk about. How popular black culture looks at him as a pariah. Like, a lot of black people outside of a certain region don't really celebrate Jay-Z how they should, or how he feels that they should. Because most of that noise about Jay-Z being this and that, it don't come from New Yorkers.
Facts.
Hate to say it, but it's the truth of the matter. It don't come from the city. It come from people outside of the tri-state. So you got all of that noise. How he handled the Barclays Center thing, and how he's still hearing about that. How people feel as though like he stepped on bodies to get to where he's landed, on top of fatherhood, things of that nature. But he is, persona non grata. Now that Diddy's gone, Diddy was the guy that was the keynote target, and now he's in jail. He got to sit for 4 years, and there was people saying, "Oh, Jay-Z's next." I think with all of that noise, and then with the email shit came out, and we seen who was on the list. And then the FBI shit came out simultaneously, and people were adamant about reporting that he was on a list that he's never been actually shown to be on yet. That's something to talk about. Because there's still people on their social media saying that he was on the list. He's not been reported. List, I think even Dame was even alluding to him might be on that list. And it's like, dang, what are you saying? So it's like, all of these things lend itself to him having a major boulder on his shoulder. What hasn't he done for his people? Like, yeah, has he done shicey business deals? Yes. Is he a billionaire? We know in America, there's no clean way to becoming a billionaire. You got to step on people to get there. Yes. But at the same time, has he tried to put on simultaneously? You look at look at Rock Nation's roster. I'm talking about like the entire roster. People who are there now, people who were there once upon a time. It's a who's who of niggas who benefited from wearing that chain post Rockefeller, but Rock Nation.
It's true.
You name it. He's put on. Niggas was running into money problems and so got them right. Shout out Wayne. Meek Mill was having legal issues.
Got him right.
Got him right. Man, niggas could say, I called up Jay, he got me right. Shit, Hit Boy was just talking about it the other day, how Hova helped get him out that deal.
Yeah.
Clips, same shit.
Right.
So he has enough ammunition to really talk about things in a way where it's like, all of y'all could really, he could really drop the Kiss My Ass album of all time now. But the Sonics is what I'm afraid of. I don't like, can he still pick a fire beat? Because when I heard him rhyming on that spoken word shit, I'm like, he's gone. You know what I mean? The guy that I love is gone. Between 444 and the spoken word, I am petrified at what he's done. Like, God Did is not his song. He hopped on a beat.
Killed it.
Left to his own volition, can he put together 12 to 14 tracks? Great beat selection, great subject matter, that's gas. I'm terrified. I'm not confident.
He had that joint with Nipsey Hussle that was dope.
True.
From the, what was that?
Neck and Wrist was
Black
hard.
Messiah soundtrack.
Yeah. Neck and Wrist was hard too. He did his thing.
Yeah.
That was actually a dope soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, God Did was 73 bars, and all the bars were hard, bro. Like, when's the last time you heard a 73 bar?
All the bars was hard, dude.
I love that verse, bro. I was championing that verse live on the pod too.
Fair play.
You know, like.
But also,
he killed that to me, bro.
Piggyback off of what you were saying with the chatter out there, like another narrative that has been circling the internet for a number of years now is that Jay-Z was never the number one guy. That narrative that there was always somebody that was better than him or that was doing bigger numbers.
Can I say something that sounds very belligerent right now? I don't think any person who was outside, and I'm not even Mr. Outside. I was outside. I was in the middle class of outside, but I left my crib and I felt the energy. I feel like any person who's ever ran with that narrative was a nigga who never went outside. Mm-hmm. The niggas who wear the old polo with the bent up fitteds. Them types. Them types. If you were outside in whatever neighborhood, you was around girls, you wasn't afraid to talk to a strange lady who walked by in the street and you found her attractive and you shot your shot by way of using your words, you didn't say that. But if you was in your crib
with
being an incel,
U.S. Polo Association with South Pole jeans,
you never talked to girls,
lugs boots.
Girls never noticed you.
The Rider Series lugs boots.
You was a nigga niggas laughed at in school with because you didn't talk to nobody, so they didn't know your personality, so they defaulted to laughing at you. You the nigga who said that Hov was the number one. Anybody who had any kind of taste of outside knew who the number one nigga was, bro.
Nah, you being too much of a New Yorker.
Nah, but I was
being too elitist.
Now I'm gonna go back to my time machine.
They try it with DMX too.
They try it.
Yeah.
But let's go back to that time. Remember I said I took road trips to North Carolina, right? I was also outside with niggas would roll their windows down and play music loud. And what we would hear? Rockefeller.
That Hov.
Jay-Z.
A lot, bro.
A lot. When I took those road trips, if Jay-Z had a single in rotation, state to state.
98, he was out of here.
When I was leaving the country and going to the country of my family, they knew who Jay-Z was. How was he not number one? The niggas who were selling 10 million was looking at Hov like he was number one. 50 on his ascent via Get Rich or Die Trying was looking at Jay-Z like he was number one, trying to get him out of here.
Everybody.
What are we talking about?
That was the measuring stick.
It'd be too many niggas who either wasn't born yet, don't have no social skills, or they just hate New York that say this stupid shit. Then people who actually lived it, experienced
I think certain people make people feel away. Like Jay kind of embodied the cool nigga, you know. So if you so if you kind of like got dogged by the cool nigga, you just could never be a cool nigga. You know, you look at a cool nigga like
incel. The cool nigga is the person you resent the most.
Enemy, yeah.
But back to your point about it's probably not people from New York.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot. Cool nigga, man.
It's a younger age range. You know what I mean? Probably not from New York. Going on Wikipedia,
looking up album sales, looking up numbers, and creating narratives off of an era that they never experienced
and that they have a chip on their shoulder about. And then building narratives off of that.
But here's the gag that when they do the research and they don't really do the research. There's no quote of Nelly saying, right now or then, that I felt like I was the man. Most Nelly would say was, I was in an era full of killers. He would never fix his mouth to say I was number one.
While going diamond. Well, he had the song.
He had the song. Hold on.
I mean,
he had the song called I Am Number One, right? Did anyone who was of the ilk respond or respect it?
Not at all.
In real time? No.
Right.
When Ja Rule was selling big numbers, was Ja Rule puffing his chest saying, I'm the best rapper in the world? He knew better. Right. Everybody knew who number one was.
They didn't want to get
Eminem wouldn't even say it.
They didn't want that smoke.
M could probably say it.
Yeah.
And he didn't say it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those guys was getting spins on pop radio because they were making pop radio songs. They wasn't doing 10 million off urban radio and urban singles. They was getting pop radio love. There was TRL in it. It's a different argument, different animal altogether. Right. So if you're talking about strictly rap, not chasing the TRL shit regularly, who else?
The Jigga Man.
But again, you had to have lived it to understand it. Like, yeah, the mother niggas got spins. Nelly got his little spins on the radio and shit like that. Eminem, not so much. I could say M was the only guy I could say who did big numbers, who didn't really get spins in New York like that. Not on like rap.
Not in cars.
Right.
Not in like.
No, I'm talking about the radio. Like, how much Eminem singles was really getting spun on 97? We gotta be fair.
Just like them.
Oh,
wonky joints.
Hold on.
The wonky joints got played.
I know Superman got mad run at one point.
The way I am was
crazy. But I'm talking about like
I mean, even
Without Me got a lot of play, bro.
On Hot 97?
A lot of play.
I don't remember that game.
I heard that.
Nah,
Without Me was
I can't even
big.
say that about Eminem. Eminem was good.
Yeah. I don't remember. I remember Superman used to get mad spins. The way
Maybe
I am used to get mad
like
spins.
Toy Soldier was big.
Not during the like
if he was getting spun, he was getting spun from 12 to 2 because Angie wasn't playing that shit either. That little window, you had old school at noon at 12.
Was running heavy too. The 8 Mile joint was running heavy.
Look, a lot of B-sides.
That was heavy B-sides, but yeah, like
I don't remember any massive
Mama Spaghetti, whatever that
big
shit.
single getting like massive Hot 97 of power spins, bro. Truth, that's just my memory of it.
I mean,
I knew B-sides 8, but like I'm the real slave. Yes, no. I don't remember that. Well, I know Flex wouldn't fucking play it at all. We know that.
Shit. What else? I'm trying to think of the records I heard from M1.
I mean,
you see how you gotta think though?
I don't know, man.
It's not a lot. Toy Soldier's got, like I said, Toy Soldier's got a lot of spins.
M was a monster. Like
M was the one guy I could say if he would have said I was the best, I would have been mad. But he would have had everything because he was rhyming at a high level. He had the units,
the sales.
He had the black people co-sign.
Fucking Grammys.
He never said it.
It was cleaning up everything.
Yeah,
niggas knew who number one. That's why when Nas got him out of there, it was celebrated. Nigga, when Hov lost, the Death Star got destroyed. Nigga, it wasn't just New York. Like you know what, Nick? Like what are we saying? Got Ether became a staple of culture because of who got ethered in the first place.
Even Jigga want the crown. How that sound? Poor thing.
Come on, man. Like what are we doing? It was understood who number one was. At the end, he was fighting battles. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't ducking. He took the best fight, both in their prime. Right, he could have pulled a Drake and waited till niggas was 10, 15 years in.
Pacquiao him, right?
Right. Drake waited till he thought Kenny was on a decline to take that fight. He didn't fight Kenny after fucking To Pimp a Butterfly.
That's true.
He waited till after Mr. Morale. He thought he was slipping.
After he was on a big break, chilling out.
Come on, man.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, all right. Jay tried the sneak attack. I still listen to that fucking last word nigga about me. We got to move on though. Errol eats everything, pulling up. But StoveGod cooks.
Yes, sir.
One of the most anticipated albums. Or is it anymore? I don't know. And here's what I say. StoveGod has entrusted SWIZZ BEATZ to produce this full album. A left turn late in the process that I did not see coming. Maybe they found lightning in the bottle. Welcome to My Garden tells me that it might be something epic on the way. But I've noticed that people didn't like the first SWIZZ single. Then I saw in our chat people saying they didn't like the second SWIZZ single, which is Welcome to My Garden. And I'm beginning to wonder, did people not love StoveGod like that? Or did they love StoveGod under the guise or under the umbrella of West Side Gun? Because when he's with West, I don't hear these comments. Anytime Stove ventures off by himself, it's always a mixed bag to borderline negative about his music. So I'm beginning to wonder, did you really love Stove? Or did you love Stove with West? Stove as the ingredient of the West Side potion? Like, I'm honestly concerned about how this album is going to be received, because I think niggas was riding the wave and they don't really fuck with Stove like that.
Not even the West Side umbrella. Before that, it was the Rock Marcy umbrella.
True say.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Reasonable Drought.
Fire.
Incredible album. Incredible body of work. Produced entirely by Rock Marcy. You know? And I think it's one of those situations where I think people genuinely loved, you know, and we're fucking with StoveGod, but in, you know, with a certain synergy that he had with Rock Marcy and with that sound in general, right? Then he moved on over to the Griselda camp, was, you know, a stellar feature in a lot of, you know, West Side Gun songs. But it was still that same aesthetic, you know what I mean? Because we all know, you know, the Griselda sound was, you know, an evolution, a continuation of what Rock Marcy started. So it was still within the same, you know, landscape. You take StoveGod out of that, you know, I feel like people feel like, you know, like he's been picked up and dropped off elsewhere without any real like pathway, you know, any real thread to connect it to. And I think it's you know, taking people aback. I think people are, you know, I think people find it jarring at this point that, like, you know, StoveGod is making these moves towards all of these different, you know, sonic landscapes, but where's the thread? Where's the evolution? Like, it feels like it was just like he just made a hop, skip, and a jump, you know, over here.
People feel like he's skipping steps?
Possibly, you know. Yeah, and I mean, and historically we know that, like, when the underground champions an artist and then they start you know, working with different producers and making songs with different sonic landscapes, different, you know, soundscapes, and they start sounding a little bit more polished, more poppy, they don't react well to that. They never have, right? So I think that's what's happening with StoveGod. But I think the other thing with StoveGod is that, yeah, like it seems a little bit abrupt or sudden, right? And that jarring feeling, I think, is what's, like, you know, what's taking people aback about it.
That's fair. Then your thoughts, SWIZZ Beatz, new sounds. Do they really love StoveGod?
I think they do, but I think it's all right. Like, niggas love steak, but
oh boy,
do niggas love
food
do
reference,
niggas
bro.
love a medium steak? Do niggas love a well done steak? Like, it depends on. I feel like a lot of people hear like Vogue covers and like, that's the stove I want. You know what I'm saying? I feel like to go from Vogue covers to go to smell the dope cooking in the air, right, and the transition is so far. And I feel like when people love you for something, they love you for that.
Left turn.
Yeah, bro. Like, if they love you for being a shooter, shoot, bro. You come in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to come through the baseline and dunk, that might not be what we want from you. We want you to, you know what I'm saying? And I think right now they're holding him into a box. But I think he could break free because he's one of those dudes who sonically could do that. I feel like that dude has he's so versatile if he just used correctly. And I feel like West Side Gun just knew how to use him very correctly, you know? And I think people are looking at it like, yo, the way he sound when he was with West, they want you to sound how you best sound, you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of, like, I like the new music that he's dropping. But I mean, you remember when Vogue cover came on, Bondo, like all of those old school West joints from like the 2021 to like 2024 S joints? well, more like 2019 actually to like now. You know what I'm saying? Mariota, bro. Big ass Brit. Is it big ass Brit? I'm fucking it up. Don't matter. But the point is that people want that eloquent street shit that just feels like the way Rick Ross made like Hustling sound. It was just a grandioseness to it. It didn't feel like you would just stand on the block. It's almost like you dropped off the key in the Bentley kind of thing. Like it's just, I think people love that sound, that upper opulence street, you know, therapeutic shit. And I feel like he was giving that to us at a high clip. So people hear these more up tempo beats.
You don't think Welcome to My Garden is a return to form?
I think yes and no. Because I think this is way more grandiose than anything that he has ever been on with Westside. Like, as soon as that beat cuts on, first of all, that shit don't even sound like a SWIZZ beat. Like, for years, when a SWIZZ beat cut on, within like 3-4 seconds of hearing that beat, you hear some SWIZZY. You hear something in the beat that make you go,
them same drums.
You know what I'm saying? That same tap, that same snare, boom, 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 like for mad years, you know. So this is one of the few joints I was like, yo, like when SWIZZ premiered it, I was almost wondering like, whose song is this he's playing?
Bro, remember when I threw it in the chat and I was like, I don't know about this, and then Welcome to My Garden dropped and I almost was in tears. Like, this song is amazing.
Well, I feel like you can listen to that at a ballroom. Like they can have a true like Louis Vuitton fashion show and I could be playing, bro. Like it's just such a fitting song for me, bro. And I feel like if he could capture that, I already feel like I can't really shit on him because I didn't even think he had that left in the tank. So the fact that he's able to make a Welcome to My Garden, bro, like I'm really looking forward.
I think people, I want to make it clear. I understand what both of you guys are saying. Y'all are not wrong. I don't disagree with a word of what you've said. I just think that people are just too damn fickle. That's how I feel. Because at the end of the day, I think sometimes if you're introduced to a person a certain way, because a lot of people could lie and say, listen to Reasonable Drought. But let's call it what it is. A lot of people were introduced to Stove via Westside Gun and how he was deployed. I think even some of the songs he's done with Ransom as well. Shout out Rand. He's been deployed in waves in other people's worlds. So now they get used to him being deployed in waves in little segments, not fully the guy.
Versus.
Right? In that world. To where now, when he's on his own, they expected him to essentially just pick a beat that sounds like whatever he was doing with Westside or Rand or one of these guys or Rock Marcy. And he's just being himself, you know? Or I think what happened with the first single was it was too trappy. And you made a great point with that. To me, the song is good. Like, I guess maybe I'm wrong. I'm still scaling things on, is it good or is it not good? To me, that song was good. I like Goat Stamp is a hard record.
Fire.
Yeah. People are grading Goat Stamp on what it's not as opposed to what it is. Like, it's not what Stove usually does, so I don't like it.
Yeah.
One guy was like, how could you make this type of song for this amount of years and then do this? Like, how could you do that? I saw that. Swear to God, I saw that tweet. People they felt betrayed by StoveGod with Goat Stamp. But I'm like, is the song good or is it not good? The song is good, but y'all didn't give it a chance because it wasn't what you wanted. Fickle. He went on the Clips album, did the chorus. That don't sound like nothing he's done on Rock's albums or produced by Rock or Westside or Rand, any of these guys. It was sonically completely different. But again, he was deployed in segments. He just did the hook. And he was the change of pace needed to make a good song great. They like that. Drops Welcome to My Garden. Oh, I don't like this song. I don't like that. It's like, again, do you like StoveGod Cooks, or do you want him to be a certain type of way? Fickle. If it's not the way that you want it, then you're just gonna reject it or say it's not good or you don't like it because it's not what you're accustomed to. Again,
haters.
Fickle. People are just, they want what they want, how they want it. They want to Burger King these artists. And it's just like, we came up in a time where roundtableism here, take the journey. Sin did make a great point about maybe the journey is too sharp of a left turn for some. For some people. But StoveGod is not in Westside Gun's position, Benny the Butcher, Conway the Machine as far as hype. I would say his anticipation clears theirs. Let's say what all their solos were when they were getting those cosigns, the Griselda album, the Jay-Z cosigns, when they went viral, and when went from underground to overground. I would say Stove's next album's Anticipation clears all of that shit.
That's a fact.
In my opinion, anyway. I could be wrong.
The streets want this shit.
I think this is more anticipated than Pray for Paris. Put it like that.
Yeah.
And if he has a situation where he was just on one of the best albums of last year, getting radio spins.
Heavy.
He's not chasing overground success anymore. He's trying to be borderline household name. So if he's doing that, he might have to skip a few steps because he's so good that it forces him, it requires him to skip a few steps. Because at the end of the day, if you want to grab that audience, you could grab the same niggas who's always gonna cop up. We know they're gonna be there. You could just make that album. But if you have a bigger audience that's anticipating something, it's a catch-22, whereas it's like, do I give them what I've been giving others and hope they like it, or do you try to meet them in the middle? And I think what Stove is trying to do is meet them in the middle, because he's not full-on going commercial, because subject matter is anything but commercial. Welcome to My God is not a radio-friendly record at all. There's no drums on that shit. You know what I mean? So
and the talk.
Right. The talk, both records, both singles has been nothing but dope talk. You know what I mean? Hood nigga talk.
Cocaine in the baby seat don't really fly on the radio like
what was
that.
it? My theme song is Boiling Water?
Yeah.
Like, come on. So I think people just need to get back to taking the journey. Again, shout out to the J. Cole fans, because they've been willing to take the journey. And that's one thing I got to give credit to.
Better or
because
worse.
Once J. Cole went, quote unquote, he went from the best kept secret to super mainstream around KOD-ish. That guy is sonically not the same guy that was on For Your Eyes Only and all of my albums prior to. It's two different artists, but they took the journey. They supported the music. They went to the shows. They ran the numbers up.
More miles than that damn Civic. They taking the journey.
They put up, but they took the journey. Every
shit.
Kendrick Lamar's a fucking bipolar discography. Think about it. Section 80. What was his first album again?
Good Kid, Mad
Good
City.
Kid, Mad City. To Bib a Butterfly. Damn. Mr. Morale. GNX. Every hour is something different.
Yeah.
Take the journey. Same thing with Aubrey. Say what you want about Aubrey. Aubrey's first work to right now, completely different act. And those people have locked in and they've taken the walk with this artist.
Yeah.
All the GOATs, niggas take that journey. I love Jay-Z. That's my GOAT. Reasonable is not 444. Those are two different guys. Reasonable is not Kingdom Come. Two different guys. All these checkpoints. So it's like, let's stop judging it on what it's not or what you hope it was based on the last shit you heard. Take the journey with the nigga. What the fuck? If you fuck with him for real, or is he just a thing to like? He's a new toy for now.
For a lot of people,
you know what I mean?
Is that this the way this artist delivers this music like this speaks directly to my sensibilities, my soul, whatever. And now that he makes the music like this, it don't talk to me the same way. You know, that's you know.
And you know what? I'm not one to finger wag. If that's what it is, I respect that. But if you're just saying you put on the beat, you listen to the first 4 bars and you turn it off,
whack,
and then it's not, I don't like this. Like, then I'm judging you. I'm sorry. Because the songs are hard. Period. If he's making some whack shit, we'll come on here and say, yo, you know what, them Stove songs ain't it. You know what I mean?
Facts.
When none of these songs are whack.
The first 2 are hitting. Shit.
And it's 2 different. See, now I'm curious. Is Goat Stamp going to be on the album now? If it's fully produced by SWIZZ, was Goat Stamp produced by SWIZZ? Now I gotta wonder.
Like the fact that maybe it might be. Maybe. Nah. I was thinking,
is it a bonus now?
Because I'm like, it has to be. If he didn't produce it, because I'm like, I didn't listen.
I think he burned it, bro.
I didn't listen to Welcome to My Garden and think that was a SWIZZ beat. It don't sound like a SWIZZ beat, bro. If you didn't see SWIZZ premiere that song, you just heard it, and they told you who you think made the beat, you would have never said it was SWIZZ Beats, bro.
I lied to you. All right, let's move on. You hit the like button, hit the subscribe option, hit the notification bell. Sincere looking up the producer.
Credits.
The producer's name is spelled OKPETRE.
So not SWIZZ Beats.
Not SWIZZ Beats.
There you go.
I'm not even gonna try.
Which means the album is probably not making the cut. That song is not making the cut.
Probably not.
But we got to move on to my favorite segment, which is the mailbag. No Macito this week, so no Mace Sag, no Young Rap, no industry talk. We miss you, Mace. You know what I mean? I might have jumped out the window on the first segment. I think I'm confident that I was right, but by now the chat would have killed me anyway. We got a few comments to get to here. You know, we love the mailbag segment. We have No Handle. Doing a little mini breakdown of the other pod. Episode 143 says the J. Cole segment about a midlife crisis was really good. You guys made some valid points. 50 versus T.I. segment was good as well. I forgot some of those 50 Cent bangers. They're good, but I still got T.I. This was a nice discussion that don't really matter anyway because 50 is scared and would rather just troll online. Points made. Get off Sin's lawn. Sin forgot the part where J. Cole put out a brand new engine into his old Honda. Other than that, I completely agree with everything Sin said. It also needs to be said that J. Cole has a nice tour bus following him around. So it's very likely that he spends most of his time on a tour bus and just hops into the Honda when they get close to city.
Just rent the Sprinter, my nigga. Just rent the Sprinter, my nigga.
Wow. Yeah. Hold on. Matter of fact, where did drop at? Wow, because we don't use this as much anymore.
Wow, bro. That's crazy.
I didn't know about the tour bus. That just makes sense. 1,000% right.
Just rolling around with places,
look that
Dolo,
up now.
him and Eve, Dolly, with no, you know what I'm saying?
We got a couple of negative comments to get to here. We have the Mad Hatter 7690. He says, y'all not keeping the same energy when it comes to New York collecting the L, to Sin's earlier point. When S50 took out a strong opponent in rap. Ja don't count because the feds was on his head already. All the real ones gave him L's. Jada, Game, Ross, and now Tip. Dini, you don't like where it's going, but y'all giving Cole so much shit for not engaging. Now sales matter and make you better. Now we measuring who has more sales. Wow, so much moving of the goalposts. So this comment irked me because how are we correlating one guy who made a diss song, put it on a body of work, and then apologized for the diss and left the beef to a guy who hasn't been a serious rapper in 10 years. Has he put out songs? Yes. But he hasn't been a serious rapper in 10, maybe 12 years. What are we doing here? That's been the question of the day. What are we doing?
Like I thought the potential threat of violence from 50 Cent would probably be a lot worse than it would be from J. Cole. I just thought maybe I'm wrong. Maybe J. Cole is.
And then the whole thing about like comes to New York collecting the L. Like, how did this become a New York collecting the L thing? We, on the live stream, I said, I think I can speak for my whole team when I said we don't give a fuck about T.I. versus 50 Cent. And no one on the panel disagreed. So what does this have to do with New York? How is New York what are we, like guys, like why do y'all get so caught up in New York? Like 50 versus T.I. is not New York versus Atlanta. I hate to break it to you.
Especially when it looks like T.I. is the only one who fucking cares.
T.I. has an album to put out.
Like,
if y'all can't see by now that this is great promo for his new album, then I can't fucking help you.
Shout out to Damani, shout out to King, the whole family.
The whole family hopping on his head top.
Come on, like.
But acting like there's no end game here. Because this whole idea that 50 dissed T.I.'s wife, so he has to defend his wife's honor. Like, yeah, I understand that.
Totally.
But acting like the end game isn't the eventual T.I. album, which he's already put out a single for, the fuck are we talking about?
That shit got so weird, bro. Like, the kids.
And it's like, T.I. don't got to do that,
I mean, it makes sense. You diss a nigga moms, 2 kids rap.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
niggas
I don't know,
niggas
man.
got dead moms on t-shirts and shit. That's shit like that is
great
crazy.
Promo.
That's
like the
Nasty
what's his name? Damani?
Yeah. The oldest son.
Yeah, the oldest son. He's like the more artsy.
Yeah.
More kind,
Talented.
Yeah, he is. And on the surface level, I listen to the joint. I'm like, oh, he going in. It's hard.
He cooked.
Nah,
I'm not questioning none of the songs. T.I. did his thing too.
Yeah.
Even the youngest son got a couple of joints I was actually surprised about.
But then like on the macro level, like you pull the lens back and you're just watching like a whole family going at 50.
Who does not give 2 fucks,
who
bro.
Really does. He couldn't care less.
But that's the problem when it becomes a New York versus Atlanta thing, is when you start actually talking about what's going on. If you're not outright defending T.I., you're being New York biased. When the truth of the matter is, one guy does not care to rap, and he's not going to rap. And I'm going to say this again. You're screaming about keep the same energy. If we couldn't get J. Cole, a full-time rapper, to come outside,
well,
who gonna get 50 Cent to come outside? And we tried our damnness.
And what's the plus side? Like, to make a bunch of niggas who hate 50 be like, oh,
and
he actually came out
about
anyway?
Keeping the same energy, and this goes towards Tone too, because he was one of the ones that was saying, yo, same energy you have for J. Cole, you gotta have for 50 Cent. One completely different age range,
not the same.
Different generations. Second, though, one of them was actively saying time and time again how he was currently the best rapper in the game, the best rapper out, and that you did not want smoke with him lyrically as a rapper, as an MC. That person's name was J. Cole. 50 Cent currently, whatever this kind of like petty personal back and forth thing is, at no point currently is 50 Cent claiming to be the best a better rapper than T.I. or the best rapper or any of that.
Let's take it a step further. In real time,
it's not the same situation at all.
When 50 was taking over the world, people right here in the 5 boroughs were saying, 50, he on fire, but he not nicer than a lot of niggas. We used to have these debates at barbershops, at work, wherever on the block. Lyrically, we would say 50 could have fucked with this, the guy, that guy, and that guy, but he got a wave right now.
Yeah.
That was understood. So if y'all keep swearing this is some New York shit, like y'all niggas are just talking.
And lastly, I don't know how much clearer we need to be about this. We're not mad that J. Cole, quote unquote, ducked the fade.
Man, fuck, stop explaining yourself to these niggas.
No,
they not listening to us. They don't give a fuck.
It's the fact that he threw himself in the ring and then he
threw himself out the ring
and threw himself back out there. He popped shit and apologized just as Kiss.
Mad people don't talk about that aspect. Talk about it, Sim. Mad people forget that aspect.
They don't want to remember it.
Nah, bro. Your man wrote a whole song, dropped the whole song, rescinded the shit
You
later.
wrote the bars. Like, I gave niggas the whole breakdown. They still said we was hating.
The same way J. Cole ducked is the same way 50's ducked. No, it's not.
50 never went checking for him. And at this point, it's low-key on some jilted lover shit.
Could you imagine 50 Cent dropping Wanksta and then apologizing and back and taking it off the album?
Because it was in his spirit to drop it.
50 the whole, everything 50 do, bro, is for opportunity.
Like,
50 not gonna do no song.
Y'all gotta think through things before you press send on those tweets.
They emotional.
Like what does 50 literally get? 50 drops a song right now.
Proofread your shit.
Ask
yourself if the shit makes sense. Tone.
Fellas, let's move on. Deron Pearson, 5363. Jarv is a hater. Compared T.I. to Fab, Loso doesn't have the catalog, nor does 50. Tip doesn't need a fake beef to roll out. You clearly haven't listened to T.I.'s albums. You think he was cool with his wife and kid being involved to sell an album? Jarv trying to downplay it before these lyrics take one of New York top dogs out. These niggas have a great imagination. Bro. Respect the South or get left behind. So, I guess Deron didn't see when we did 2 weeks ago the versus conversation that I picked T.I. and said T.I. would be 50 in a versus. Let's start there. Secondly, me thinking that this is an album rollout doesn't make me a hater. It just makes me logical. He dropped a single, didn't have too much legs, but the beef increased the spins for the fucking single.
They never talk about T.I. this much in the last
The chart data came out. It had a bump. I think it moved up 10 spots. This is the most rap fans and rap media has talked about T.I. as a rapper in years. The last time we were talking about T.I. that went viral was when they thought he went bald with his dreadlocks, to which he immediately cut his dreadlocks off right after that. So do with that information what you will. I still believe it wasn't T.I., but nevertheless, the dreadlocks came off right after the bald allegations.
Bro.
So again, to the performative motherfuckers that's the problem. So many performative motherfuckers like Deron Pearson on the internet who have an anti-New York rhetoric. Bro, like the data be right in front of you. Like again, just go watch our shorts. I'm the guy that picked T.I. to be 50. How could I be a hater? I just look at it as if the single don't have legs. Remember he was making such allegations to promote a versus that wasn't happening. He said 50 agreed to a versus, but we never heard from 50. So it's just your story. All niggas is asking you about 50 Cent in on podcast interviews. Why you want Gillian Wallow? To do what? Promote an album, right? Because what other reason would he be on Gillian
Nobody
Wallow?
even talking about the album. The whole conversation is 50 Cent.
Oh, okay. Then you drop 4 disc records in a week. Your sons dropped disc records.
At least 4.
Right.
King dropped at least 3 or 4 joints.
Right.
Damani just dropped a joint. So
just based on
giving
all the
Joe Budden versus Eminem.
You doing the media, you dropping the disses, you on Twitter. I don't even be on Twitter. Twitter and Instagram. If I say this shit is a rollout, what's like? Why are we so pressed? Like that's what it looks like to me. That don't mean I don't like fucking T.I. Facts. That don't mean I don't like T.I. It just looks like niggas is trying to sell me some shit. That's how I'm looking at it.
That's it.
It's nothing. To me, there's nothing organic about it. I mean, Sin made a good counterpoint.
Trying to sell you some crypto?
Yeah, crypto rap beef. Oh shit.
Some tiptoe.
I just caught that. Nevertheless, I got a few positive comments to run through before we get up out of here. You know what I mean? We got Kenneth Anderson 2398 says, "Hey, let's get it. The dopest podcast hip hop show around. Appreciate y'all."
Facts.
Day Bid 9421 says, "J. Cole is a good rapper, but in my opinion, he's so bland. It's a skip for me." Has 23 likes. Just wanted to point that out. AB says, "Another dope set. Best podcast bar none."
Salute.
Alex 863 says, "Congrats on 24K subs, brothers. That's a big deal. Appreciate you."
Facts.
Bilal Motley says, "Y'all cooking on this episode, fellas, especially the J. Cole segment. Keep up the great work." Vince 2002 says, "Next album." This is funny. Next album, Cole will have God apologizing to Satan. Hilarious.
Oh shit.
And the last entry has Marcus Anderson 4876 saying, "Dope pod and always hilarious. Good people's on this episode, man. I love it. Salute to you, Marcus. Shout out to everybody who showed love. Shout out to all the niggas who throw the negative shit.
What if God never kicked Satan out of the heavens?
What the hell? That's name. What the hell? That's
what if?
Last but not least, we got a couple of vagrants to kick off the lawn before we get to our interview segment.
Got to.
We are somewhere in New York City. The snow is melting. It's melting faster. More snow this time. We're melting faster than the last of the snow.
God.
Thank God. But we are outside of New York. Hopefully the weather turns soon. And we need all you haters too.
Get off my lawn.
Get off Sincere's lawn.
Listen, I'm gonna have to do this again. I know I did this recently. But they just won't get off my lawn, bro. They're like they leave and then they come back. I kick them off. And then I look out my window and I find them stomping on my petunias again. And I'm like, why are these motherfuckers so incessant on coming onto my lawn, bro? It's Atlanta part 2.
Oh, shit.
I gotta kick the whole Atlanta off of my lawn again because y'all are getting worse and worse. Not only have you stomped on my petunias, but you stomped on my daffodils, my rose bed too. Like, y'all motherfuckers gotta find something to do other than come onto New York's lawn and start trying to stomp on shit because y'all still mad at us from 30 plus years ago. Atlanta, step to the front, please, because I gotta talk to you, man. Because I've been keeping tabs on this shit. Number one, the last time I talked about this, I'm gonna repeat it again. Y'all stay trying to take credit for shit that y'all absolutely did not start, right? It happened with grills. It happened with polo. Y'all swear y'all started the polo trend. Get the fuck out of here. And then the next thing was Kangol. That New York or Biggie got Kangol from the Dungeon Family and Outkast in Atlanta. Get the entire fuck out of here. I already kicked y'all off my lawn for that shit. You know what I mean? Then we got to get to the part where, as I mentioned earlier, Atlanta is in absolute shambles right now. I put out a tweet saying Atlanta's in shambles, so they're coming after New York Pillars. Somebody decided to quote tweet me and be like, "You must be talking about a different Atlanta." No. I'm talking about the one Atlanta. The Atlanta where Young Thug is cooked. The Atlanta where Lil Baby is washed. The Atlanta where 21 Savage flopped. The Atlanta where T.I. is currently on a generational clout chase, dropping 4 fucking diss records in a row to somebody that's not paying him no mind, and then got his kids in the whole fucking mix too. And don't get me started on Yachty. Yachty, at this point, I'm ready to crown him. He is the worst rapper of all time. The worst. There were other people. There were other rappers in contention. We had the Silk the Shockers. We had I don't know, a few other ones. It's Yachty. At this point, I'm done going back and forth about this. He has the crown. That fucking freestyle that he went and dropped on what's
Just
that
Incredible.
shit? Just Incredible, Power 106. Worst shit I ever seen. He had the nerve to read that shit off of his phone and still have it be that trash. Like, how is that even possible? How is that possible? Somebody let me know how you could read rhymes off of a phone and still deliver them so fucking terribly. Worst rapper of all time. Get the fuck out of here.
Is there more?
And then
Okay.
Don't hold Waffle House against him, Sin.
on to this Thug Motivation 101 versus Cuba Links thing
Come on.
that we already talked about earlier.
Okay.
Right? We already talked about it earlier.
Not too much on Jeezy, son.
No, I got you. Not too much on Jeezy, right? But here's how I feel about this, because I was recently rewatching The Last Dance. Every few months, like maybe like twice a year or whatever, I throw on The Last Dance. The Michael Jordan documentary, The Last Dance, in case anybody is confused, right? Not the movie, because I think there's a movie by it. So not that.
The Bulls doc.
Yeah, the Bulls doc, the Michael Jordan doc, specifically The Last Dance, right? And there was a part of it a few episodes in where they were covering the 92 season, going into the 1992 finals, going up against Clyde Drexler, right? And the media at the time was trying to hype it up, obviously, right? There's a big rivalry, the two best shooting guards in the league, Michael Jordan versus Clyde Drexler.
The Glide.
Right? And Michael Jordan said, no disrespect to Clyde Drexler. I mean, I'm paraphrasing here, but no disrespect to Clyde Drexler, because Clyde Drexler was the beast.
Big dog, yeah.
You know what I mean? He got it on. He was definitely one of the best shooting guards in the league. He was probably the number 2 to Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan took offense to that. Because there's fucking levels to this shit.
Oh boy.
There's fucking levels. You have Clyde Drexler, great legend.
Hall of Famer.
Top 50 of all time. But there's fucking levels. It's Michael Jordan, motherfucker. We are the Michael Jordan of this shit here in New York. Don't ever get that shit twisted. Please. Right? And I'm gonna go down the list real quick before I end this. I know you was about to.
Yeah, I thought you was done. I was gearing up.
You had the finger on
I was
it.
gearing up.
I was about to be on my whole shit. He's only 16.
But hold on, because I got to make this as clear as possible, right? Who's the best lyricist out of Atlanta? Who does everybody say is the best lyricist?
3 Stacks.
3 Stacks.
Yeah.
Andre. We got Nas, which is not only a better lyricist, but also has an actual solo discography.
Quite a few.
Who would you say is the biggest, the best all-around rapper out of Atlanta?
I'll probably say T.I.
T.I. We got Jay-Z. Up to nothing.
I couldn't even answer that in good faith. T.I. I guess.
Lyrically,
yeah, T.I.
You can put
It's
Luda up there too.
Luda. I'll put Luda.
but
I'll put Luda above T.I.
Luda above T.I.? Really? All right.
Overall,
fine.
yeah.
Either way, we got Jay-Z. He knocks them both out. You know what I mean? Y'all got Jeezy with the gruff, raspy voice. We got DMX. DMX all day, every day is better than Jeezy. Y'all got Dungeon Family. We got fucking Wu-Tang. Y'all got Outkast as a duo. Y'all might win on Outkast, but we got Mobb Deep and Gangsta and EPMD.
And
Y'all motherfuckers is washed.
Hold on,
New York is washing Atlanta all day, every day, and 5 times on
and
Sunday.
just to piss off that bitch nigga Bomani Jones, we could clean clips too if we wanted to. They from the Bronx
Shit,
originally.
might as well.
They from uptown.
You know what I mean? And J. Cole right now. You know what I mean? We might as well claim J. Cole.
Damn near transplant at this point, bro. He love it here.
Bro, it's fucking levels to this shit. Y'all can beat Clyde Drexler. We fucking Michael Jordan out this bitch. Get the fuck off my lawn if you think otherwise.
Cold blooded.
I don't got no more to add to that. Shout out Sincere for the cook up. Errol eats everything coming up right now. Don't go nowhere. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe option. Hit the notification bell. Swipe and hype. Do all of that. We are coming right back at you. As promised, Errol Eats Everything, pulling up to the Rap Round Table. As always, nothing but illustrious guests here, nothing but top tier lyricists here from the towns, New York. You know, we try to highlight our cities. As much as we talk shit about other cities, a lot of podcasts don't shine a light on artists who are doing their thing on the come up, underground, overground. We try to do our best to make sure that we highlight those guys putting the pain in. Errol, what's the word, man? Welcome to the Rap Round Table.
I'm here, man. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Y'all
so,
good?
Yeah, man, we a little drunk.
All right. It's all good.
We'll be all right.
It's been a long pod.
But we have to ask the obvious. We know you've done media. You've probably had this question asked to you countless times, but we don't know you, so we gotta ask the question. Your rap name is the most unique rap name we've ever had up here. We had like a Stargella. We've had Rome
Fergie Baby.
Fergie Baby, but we've never had a Errol Eats Everything.
Yeah.
What is the story behind your name?
That Chex commercial, Ask Mikey.
Yes.
One day I was just like, it came on when I was like, ding, and it just
Hey,
came on.
Mikey, he likes it.
Yeah. And then that just hit me at that moment. It came on YouTube. I was like, oh,
That's
Wow.
Hit
Now,
him.
is that in relation to actual food, or is that in relation to like you as an MC?
The real reason is because I kind of have an insatiable appetite for knowledge. So if you listen to the substance of my music,
Okay.
it requires a lot of intake.
Yes.
And so but at the same time, I'm an MC. So my duty is to eat your food, you know?
Fair
Like,
play.
Talk.
Finish your breakfast if
Talk.
you will.
yeah. So
I love that name because the thing is, it's like, wait a minute. First of all, Errol. So I'm like, this
DPR
this is a
That's
yard
a
treat. You know what I mean? Off the rip, I'm like, yo. Because I remember, like, quick backstory. I used to work for Delta Airlines at JFK. And it was like, I worked with Mad Jamaicans. So it was like, as soon as I heard it, it just took me back to them days working with the yard men at Delta. Like, yo, this is like the most purest name you could ever have from the country,
it's
bro.
the John of Jamaica.
Yo, listen to me. So I'm like, first of all, shout out to you for keeping Errol locked in, and then just adding that the uniqueness to it as well. Fire name, bro.
I
Like,
appreciate you. Yeah.
like when did you start your process as an MC? How long have you been rhyming? Like, when did you start taking it seriously? Let's start with when you first put pen to paper.
Maybe when I was like 12 years old. So like I'm not a new MC. I've been around. I used to go by the name E-Dot.
Okay.
And I had singles out and whatnot, but it didn't resonate with the folks like I wanted it to.
Okay.
And I did, I was a typical underground rapper, and then life kicked in, got married, had kids. Then I realized like I just committed so much of my life to a skill that doesn't transfer over to many different things. It's a real niche kind of skill, and I kind of just, to tell you the truth, I kind of walked away from it after I put all those years in. And so I've been rhyming my whole life. My first show ever was for Ice-T.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Ice-T. I couldn't even tell you the year. Probably
Young Tracy.
Roundabout early 90s?
Yeah, probably early 90s.
Yeah.
So you've been through the wars.
Yeah.
That's
I'm trying to really think about that. I'm going to really think about that.
Nah, for real. Like,
Because
first show was for Ice-T.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you say typical underground MC didn't work out. Like, what would you say from your first person perspective? Why didn't things take off the way you would have liked it to take off?
I think it's a matter of perspective, man, and what your expectations were. My expectation was I want to be the next Lil Wayne. Like, I want to be big. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how and what was behind it, and I didn't have the right people behind me, and I was just trying.
Recording music, but like the plan around the music, you would
Correct,
say wasn't
yeah.
locked in.
Yeah, and in hindsight, when I think about it now, probably wasn't ready. I mean, I was ready on a certain level where it was good music, enough for like Fat Beats to press a couple singles and stuff like that. But then, it just, after a while, you give so much, and then you're just like, can I do this forever? You know what I'm saying?
True.
And then, and so I've been in it for a minute, man. And then, there's a story behind why I'm back.
We gonna get there.
Well,
we gonna get there.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
So being that, as a Jamaican artist, and you've been around a while, how come? From this is me asking selfishly. I'm deviating from the game plan.
Do you, man?
There was like an artist, like let's say like a Mad Lion out there. Did you ever consider trying to like blend cultures with the rhyming and the dancehall culture?
Not really, man, because I'm actually born in Jamaica. I don't chat patois like that because I've twang so bad that I'm insecure about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what's funny about that? But when I hear you, I hear a Jamaican.
I do too.
Really?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, man.
So I came up in Canada, and so in my era, 9 out of 10 black folks you see are Jamaican. So I'm kind of like heavy in the culture. Jamaican family still have, came up in the culture and whatnot. But to me, I don't hear it at all. But I'm insecure about. I mean, I say my this and that, but I would not have a full conversation out there like that unless I'm real comfortable around you and whatnot.
Yeah, right.
And the other thing I noticed when I first came to New York was Americans don't appreciate that reggae fusion type of stuff like they should. Right? There's a lot of different cultures here in the diaspora, man, and I felt like it just didn't. It doesn't like name a successful one like Born Jamaicans.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like who is that?
Sean Paul kind of.
Sean
That doesn't
Jamaican.
count.
That's
That's
straight
Jamaican.
dancehall.
Yeah,
That's straight
Sean did it
dancehall.
with strictly dancehall music.
We're talking about a Jamaican that basically raps.
or a few like a
fusion
Oh,
of
I guess
kinda
Smith and
bust the
Wesson.
rhyme, bust the
Smith-
rhyme.
That's why
Mad
I went
Lion.
to Mad Lion. There ain't too many
Yeah.
Mad Lions out there. You know what I
Smith
mean?
and Wesson did it.
Smith and Wesson throw the lingo in there just to let you know that they from
Little
there. You know what I mean?
seasoning,
Yeah.
What about
Foxy
Supercat?
Brown.
That's
Dancehall.
kind of
She's not
I
Jamaican.
mean, he did some records, but
with rap. But yeah, you're right.
but he's also like a top notch dancehall artist, like a super respected dancehall artist.
There it is.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, Biggie,
There it is, we heard
Biggie
that.
too. I mean, but I can't really think of too many like reggae-esque Biggie things, you know? So
Nah, he's right. Like
Yeah, he's on
to
point.
blend and be a rapper, it's not too many.
Cardinal official.
Ah,
Yeah.
he had to wait
True.
for a
T-Dot.
second. True say.
But he's another Canadian, so you know.
Yeah.
Jamaican Canadian.
That's interesting.
And he tried to do it. I think it was a song where he had a single where he was talking about how he was trying to blend the cultures and everything like that. And I mean, it worked for a second, but I see what you're saying now. It does limit you in what you can.
Yeah. How much bandwidth do you have?
Right.
Nobody. You're up against Hove. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, right. Talk
So how
about
much
it.
bandwidth do you have, really? You know, and really, I didn't have it to the extent I have now. Now I kind of have a sprinkle it in a little bit more than Smith and Wesson did, but it's just now it's happening now because I just am not compromising myself. I made
Rightfully
music.
so.
I just like at this point in time, I just want to make what I want to hear.
No, I like that because I could say this. I'm a little different from you, whereas I was born here. My whole family's from Guyana. And I could say that I've seen like the transition from, I'm American, to where like Caribbean culture is just second nature.
Yeah.
So like it makes sense, I guess more so now than it would have maybe 15, 20 years ago to blend it. Because now it's like a badge of honor to be Caribbean, whereas before it was like, you might get clowned at school for being that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. You know what I mean? I see where you're coming from with that. And I've heard it in your newer music where you blended in there. The newer project you had, there was a whole skit with bro. I forget the name of it, but bro was really like
Blacking out on them.
yes. And I'm like, this
to
is what I
dread,
like
yeah.
to hear. You know what I mean? Because it's like, to me, I
Want me
believe,
terminate?
Yes.
You know, yeah.
To me,
white face and this blood clot or something like
I
that.
believe like in 2026 and even like the last 5 or 6 years, I believe that like if that's who you are, lead with that and do your world building through your culture.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of artists who are of a certain culture, wherever you're from, whether you're Hispanic, West Indian, whatever. Lead with that. Add to that, because to me that adds a layer to the listening experience. I like that you did that. But Sin, you know I could talk all night, bro. I'll let you get in on the action.
Yeah, no. I mean, my next line of question is, so you said you've been rhyming since 12, right? But when exactly did you think like, oh, I got something here? I'm nicer than these motherfuckers out here, or I'm better than them.
I think that there's this thing called irrational confidence. Man.
Yes, I suffer from it. Yes,
You need it.
yes.
You
And
need it.
so I had that in football.
No, look, because Job's eyes, the way they popped,
No, all right, quick,
got to have it.
popped open.
You need it for success, man.
not to cut Errol off, but I wish Bass was here. There's a writer, Bill Simmons, right? And in his sports writing, he talks about players who are irrational confidence guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he be talking about me, bro. Because it's like this guys, like he'll talk about like John Starks and J.R. Smith and say these guys, they're irrational, which means when they're on a heater, they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
But then you have to stop them from themselves because they become irrational confidence guys. And so when he said it, I'm like, yeah, I suffer from that shit, man. I need to chill the fuck out sometimes.
So to answer your question, like if I think about my music that I was making before I stepped away, it kind of makes me cringe. Only like a few songs where I'm like, okay. But when I just said, on the comeback, just like I'm just gonna be myself. That's why every once in a while I'll just chat something or say whatever. I'm just being myself. And when I realized is, as a matter of fact, I recorded the whole project so I'm answering your question. Trust me.
Yeah.
I recorded the whole project, that Errol Eats Everything, in about 6 weeks. And 17 songs. And I recorded it. And I sat on it for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Because I had some, I was like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
First of all, 6 weeks is a good time.
Hell yeah.
For 17 songs.
Yeah.
For full length? Yeah.
And basically, the first song I recorded was Errol Eats Everything. And I was like, that's not bad. You know what I'm saying? But when outside, when you're getting it from the outside in and you start seeing, I never had. So I was in St. Thomas, maybe. I was on a vacation. And right before I left, after the 2 years I sat on the album, I was like, you know what? In a different frame of mind, and I uploaded it.
Felt brave.
Yeah, to a DSP. I was like, you know what? Just put it out. Well, whatever, right? And as I got on the plane, I was like, what did you just do? You know what I'm saying? Like, you idiot. What? You idiot. Clowning myself on this plane. And then I had every intention of taking it down. And then I had a good vacation. I was a little, feeling nice.
Forgot about it.
Forgot about it. And then that morning we were leaving. We're eating breakfast. And I got a ding. And I looked and it said, you're live. I was like, I forgot to take it down. And so I thought about it for a second, and I wrote kind of like a heartfelt message. Hey, man, I still rap. And I uploaded it to my Facebook. And then when I landed, I went to the airport, landed. It was shared hundreds of times, and I'd never seen a reaction like that before. I was like, whoa, And that's when I realized, I have something here. Long-winded thing.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's super great because it speaks to a certain level of confidence. You talk about irrational confidence, but on the opposite side of that coin is you maybe not as confident as you once were in your rapping ability.
Yeah.
You threw it out there, you kind of panicked, and then it was out.
Yeah.
And then people responded to it. So was that response like directly leading to you doing a full body project?
No, I did the project, the whole thing.
The whole thing was done before you put that out?
The whole project that you heard is that project.
Oh, I thought you put the single out.
I didn't put any single out.
Got it.
And then I put it out, and then labels called and stuff. And then I heard I put it out maybe at a December-ish maybe. And then labels called, and they're like, "Hey, can you take it down?" And I was like, "What?
What do you mean?"
Yeah. And then so I'm an entrepreneur and a couple different businesses, right? And then I learned to get out of my way. Because you can overthink things, right? And I was like, why? And they're like, we want to put it out in Black History Month. And I was like, okay. And I got out of my way.
Subject matter, it makes sense.
Yeah. And so they did that, and they put an EP together, and the album, based off the album, and then they just caught fire,
That makes sense.
Fire is for my level,
I love to hear it because, it's funny when you listen to the album. That was a very thoughtful project. Like the nerve of you to even like panic after you put it out. Like you know what you were doing when you recorded it. Come on, man.
Because there's some leftover collateral damage from the first run. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, what are you doing? You have kids and stuff now, man. Like, what are you doing? And then and just put it out, and then following my gut has led to so many things, and then it led to, and so I also realized when I started getting reactions from people and certain people that I started having conversations you always wanted to have, and they'd be like, literally saying things like, you're only realizing how dope you are right now, huh? You don't understand, like remarks like that where you're just like trying to be cool, like what the,
But that upsets me because it'll be for people who thought you were dope the whole time, but they never said anything.
Correct.
And you needed that confirmation, like, am I doing the right thing? Maybe if you would have said that 10 years ago, maybe I'd still be rapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And so it's been kind of beautiful, man. Like, because it's on your own terms and uncompromised. Yeah. So it's like,
Is it like a freer experience, you would say?
Yeah, because I do it on my own terms. I like 100%. And I don't need anybody for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's led to so many things. Like, it's going to be a whole other level you see coming up. And then, it's just a lot of features and people reaching out that you never thought you would have. Like the very first person, I don't like saying particular names because I think it's got a bit corny, but the very first situation to reach out was like the ultimate scenario. You're just like, choking on your spit, like, what?
You shouldn't even hesitate, because you know what it is? There's guys who come in and they brag and they haven't done anything, but you've put the pain and you've earned every quote co-sign or collaborator you've come across. So don't hesitate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. You did that. I don't know if anybody tells you that, but you did that. Don't ever hesitate to talk your shit. Fuck that. You know?
See, Rome Street's his manager.
Shout out, Coach.
Coach, man, he actually had a monumental moment for me, and he doesn't even know it. I was thinking about it today, where we're shooting a video for the Round and Round song that we did, right? Mm-hmm. And he's just walking, and then he wasn't looking at me. We're walking towards where Rome was shooting. And he's like, why did you do the so if you see my Instagram, it's pretty dope because of the animations that I have, right? I have these animations, and those animations came because I didn't want to show my face.
Really?
So I made the cover of the album based on a ChatGPT prompts. It took me like 20 prompts, and here you go. And it led to a whole bunch of things because people look at it, they're like, what is this? And then it led to,
I mean, it's hard, but
Yeah, and then so he was like, why did you do that for? And I'm like, pause for a second. I was like, ageism. And he's like, man, that doesn't even matter anymore. And that sentence was like, oh.
I could hear Coach saying that. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, and he's like, that doesn't even matter. And then at that point, I kind of started to show my face more.
That's a fact. He's not wrong. If you look at the landscape, look at Coach. Coach, all of us are all in the same demo. You know what I mean? Yeah. We have the same or similar life experiences. We've watched the genre we love go through numerous changes and kind of circle back to what we kind of like. And there's an avenue for it now for people like yourself to come through and kick doors down and make shit happen.
Yeah.
But going back to the past, like, what about, besides, of course, you mentioned, you get married, you have kids, but like, what was it more so on a personal level that led to you putting the pen down and not rhyming?
I think that just getting in my own head and just lifing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at a certain point, I was like, I put so many years into this that I could be a doctor. And the thing about that is, I used to play with a live band too, right? And the bass player at 45 years old is like, going back to school. And he put the bass down, or the guitar player, sorry, went to one of these islands and went to med school.
Wow.
Just like at that age, I was just like, what? And it made me start thinking like, man, all this work and time I put into this, I could have been a doctor or a lawyer or something. You know what I'm saying? Because I ended up going back to school and getting all types of degrees and stuff like that, right? And I'm just like, did I set myself back on some,
like life pressures, you would say, made you start doubting, like, this made sense?
Yeah, and then, but it was a beautiful, like, it's not, it's the journey. You know what I'm saying? The journey is what really matters. It's like not the pursuit of happiness, it's the happiness of the actual pursuit is what I learned. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
And that pursuit is what it's like. I did it. I love it. It created things for me, and I love the journey. And the journey made me. The journey is what it is, really. That's like it's not the end point.
That's the whole story.
It's the whole story.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so I had a mixed bag of negative and positive with it, you know. And then, but I learned that you can't hide from yourself. You are who you are.
That part right there.
And brought me back.
And I guess to the opposite side of that coin, you know, you decide to pick the pen back up. You're married. You're a dad.
Yeah.
What was the thought process of before you even recorded a song? You were writing the bars, right? Like, what made you decide? You know what? I'm gonna dust this pen off and see what I got.
Being an entrepreneur, I always wanted to be my own man, and I failed at many businesses. I succeeded at some, but one popped. And then what happened is one day I was at 2:00 in the afternoon. I'm just like, I always wanted to be in this position. Because I was always an artist. Like, man, this job is taken away from my art. This is, you know, going through that, you know, just nonsense, really. But well, actually, it can be true. But I was like in that scenario.
You wanted to dedicate more time to your art as opposed to someone else who's your boss and all that other.
Well, my art couldn't feed me at the time,
right.
And then I was like, I always wanted to be in this position. Like, what? And then Furious Evans was always sending me beats, and then I was just like, okay. And then I went and recorded, and the very first song I recorded was Errol Eats Everything. I was like, oh, recorded another song.
Still got it.
I was like, this is fire, you know. And then after the third song, I was like, what's going on? And then he has a heart attack.
Oh
man.
And so, and I was like, you know, I thought, okay, well, it was good, you know.
It was a good run.
And then, long story short, he came back after 50 days after getting shot 9 times. Because when you're about to go on a table, and I may not wake up from the surgery, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you actually battle through that. What are you afraid of after that? And then his output became outrageous. And then we started recording, and then it kind of came across to us like, hey man, this is kind of divine what we're doing. We have a purpose because of the subject matter that we were doing and talking about. And that's what led to the pen game coming back, and just because I felt like all these circumstances, and this is what we're doing right now. We're supposed to be doing this.
I love to hear that. That's a great story right there, because, you know, I'm walking a similar journey selfishly, where it's like, you know, you try to find yourself and you bet on yourself and you hope that, you know, you don't crap out when you bet on yourself. So hearing you say that's great shit for all people who are in that position. Bet on yourself and believe in that shit, you know?
Yeah.
Real talk. Dina, you been in the cut, I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. I'm talking some great shit. In terms of, you mentioned collaborators and all that. I see you got some music with Planet Asia.
Yeah,
Planet Asia's dope. Seen him live. Shout out to the homie Shalizi. Seen him live about a year ago in Brooklyn. Phenomenal lyricist. You know what I'm saying?
Big shout out.
Shout out to Sha, yeah, the homie. And you two are like barring up back to back. How did that? Because I know he's from the West Coast, if I'm not mistaken.
I have
right?
a long relationship with him, actually.
Tell us.
I opened up for him close to when he first came out.
Wow.
In Toronto. And he's always remembered me. I used to be called Earl.com. And so every time he sees me, Earl.com, you know you were ahead of your time. And you know, he's the type of dude who'll just walk in the room and talk to you like he's known you for 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a cool dude. I met him.
Super down to earth dude. And he's just like, you know you're ahead of your time, right? I tell people that you were the first, you know. And,
thank you.
Yeah. So that just came about because really, if you notice on my album, you'll notice I don't have features. I have my nephew and my brother, you know, like, that's it. And Clarence Joe, that's it. And Click manages me, right? And he was like, I have an idea. I want to do remixes and get some features. And I got out of my way. I was like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be whack, so sure, let's do it. And then that was one of the first things we thought, oh, Asia. And he was like, that was done so quick. Him and Blue too, super quick.
Shout out to Blue.
Yeah.
That's him, man.
Yeah. You know, Big Blue fans is, you know.
That dude is so down to earth, like such a good dude, man. Down to earth, super professional. Both had a good experience with both of them.
Yeah.
I got another question for you, actually. So I'm not the biggest AI fan. I'm not. But I watched Automatic Traumatic. And I just think the way y'all put that video together with the AI, with the lyricism and the structure and everything was just fire. How did that happen, my brother?
Mark Ford is a genius with it. He blends real footage with AI, and he uses AI to spice it up.
It's crafty.
And he's just like incredible at what he does. And I've worked with him for a few videos now, and we'll keep on working.
Fire, bro.
He's actually a great artist as well. But so the entrepreneur aspect of me made me realize that humans are completely unreliable. They're expensive. And people who hate AI, I can understand it. You have your reasons, right?
Holy Terminator, right?
But at the same time, you have no entrepreneurial experience because you'll burn through your whole wad of money with an unreliable person who may give you some bullshit ass art.
Yeah.
Compromised art that's not even that dope. And they're not gonna meet your timeline and deadline. And if you know what it takes with singles and the way things are, you have to be on point. And I'm working with a limited bag. I'm not gonna blow a whole bunch of money, you know what I'm saying? And so I think that you have to do it tastefully, you have to do it right. And at the beginning, I had a whole bunch of AI warriors. Oh, it's AI. And then it stopped pretty quick because they started to understand what I was doing.
It's deep.
Yeah.
You're able to put together dynamic visuals with limited budget, because some of those visuals, if you did that with humans, that's paper.
Yes, man. Like old school budget, video, for the Usher budgets. You know what I'm saying?
And some of the transitions I've seen and like the quality of it, and it's high quality. It's like if you were to do that, like that's the label shit. As opposed to being independent. So I can understand it. Like people gotta understand, like AI is not the devil if deployed in a way that's useful.
It's a tool.
When you're trying to misinform people, that's when it gets tricky. But if you're just using it as a tool to spruce up some shit, by all means, why not? You know what I mean?
Remember, people used to bug out digital over analog.
Yeah.
Talking to your man right over here,
Serato. Serato, they were like, what? Serato.
Drum
You have to use real vinyl. Like
instead of playing actual drums.
Yeah.
It was always.
That's why I love our era, because we've lived through everything. We the last ones that had black and white TVs,
Word.
no cable, no nothing. Like we lived through
a good time.
Windows 95 and all that other bullshit. Like we done lived through it all, so we got a proper appreciation for yesteryear and how technology can help push us forward. Think about it, nigga. Sidekicks and what was it, the trios and all of that before the iPhone.
No other generation has that, bro.
Like how people felt like it's gonna make people dumb. Maybe it did, but it's useful as hell. Like I got a whole this my phone right here.
It's a computer
does
in your
everything.
pocket.
You know what I mean? A lot of things you see from the Rap Round Table happens right on this phone right here. So technology is definitely a bonus.
Yeah, I think of my sons even, like they've never seen a telephone in your house.
That's
like, you know what I'm saying?
That shit fuck you up sometimes when you think about it. Like I used to have to dial numbers, bro. I used to have to write star 67 so in case like Shorty Pops answer the phone, I can just bang it and the phone is private. You know what I mean?
Hold on, but you're showing your young age because you were pressing buttons.
No, I had one of those. I had one of those. I ain't want to I had the rotary too. You know what I mean?
Had to get off the internet to use the phone type shit.
Bro, when fucking AOL was shut down the phone, bro. Oh my
wicked work.
God.
Or the what's a CD? What? What?
Yeah, man.
Like,
I remember the thrill of
Crazy
burning a
times.
CD. Like you can do that. You make your own playlist and from Where's, not Where. I had Where's before Fruity Loops, not Fruity Loops, LimeWire. I had Where's first, then LimeWire, and the thrill of burning a CD from the playlist you made. Computer be damned, it might be dead. You might have destroyed your computer, but that playlist was heat.
Those homemade tapes, man, with the little cotton.
Hell yeah!
When you have to put the little cotton and make your homemade tapes.
Come on,
that was the
son.
moment too, man. Like,
but with that gap of rhyming, like, were you concerned about where you would land? Because the time frame of you putting it down to where you picked it back up, the soundscape changed, the taste of the public changed. Was there like concern at any point there? You were like, are people gonna receive this right? Is there room for Errol in this space?
I wanted to make music I wanted to hear.
Okay.
So that's all I did is make the music I wanted to hear. We talk a lot of shit like, this new music, like your podcast was talking about certain artists and eras and areas or geographic areas and stuff like that. I feel like if you want to talk that shit, you got to show and prove. So I basically is just like, man, I'm just going to, I know it's dope. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. And that's kind of the approach I took. I didn't care about, we need a song like this, or we just spit. And that's what came. And during that process, I did it in 6 weeks. I could not pen 17 songs in 6 weeks like that. And so I had limited time because of my life. So I basically just was off the top. Like I would punch, like not like whoa 16 bars or nothing like that. So that's just my method, and I just became very good at it, and I could just knock out songs like. It's just more concept.
So they weren't all written.
No, none of them were.
Not.
Bro, when
you
just
telling
let
me
the
none
beat
of that
talk
was
to you,
written, bro?
different.
You went in the studio. You did like what, 4 bars at a time?
Sometimes 2, sometimes 4, sometimes like it just depends on
you
the.
piece it together on the fly.
On the fly, I'll listen to it and be like, okay, and then I'll add some more
tweak or like playback.
Yeah, that sounds whack. And then I'll try that. Okay, and then and I could do it. I could probably do 3 songs in a day.
Wow.
And then when you find your voice, it just comes easy. You struggle when you're trying to do lyrical miracle. You're struggling, like, because you're trying phonetically. I'm just
trying to control your message as opposed to delivering a message.
Yeah. And so people started saying, "Oh, your stories, this and that." I'm just like, you don't like in my head. I'm like, you don't even know. I didn't even know where the story was going when I started. You know what I'm saying? And it just ended up there.
I like that. I like that.
Picking up there, finding your voice. Talked earlier about the subject matter, and now the storytelling. Like, these are a lot of things that like we talk a lot about here, about certain elements that are missing from, modern hip hop. How strongly do you feel about the message of hip hop? Because if I don't want to categorize you, because you're a very unique MC. There's one of the things that I noticed, like listening to you. A lot of times, like I'll listen to somebody and I'll be like, "Oh, he reminds me of such and such," or he reminds me of like a certain era. And I'm listening to you and I'm like, "You don't remind me of nothing." Like you're
Facts.
in your own space, right? You're incredibly unique in your delivery and what you say, and sonically. So like, how important is that to you in terms of like maintaining that uniqueness? And also delivering the messages that you do, and how important do you think it is to have that in the landscape?
So I don't overthink too much. I just vibe and do that kind of a thing. But at the same time, people give me more props than I deserve, because it's not like I'm making this stuff up from scratch. It's I'm channeling that sentiment of my master teachers. You know what I'm saying? The answers are there already.
Right.
And so I'm just vibing and channeling that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like I came up with these incredible concepts or Black liberation.
You're living your raps, essentially.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's important, because I think that myself and Furious and Clarence Joe, we have an upwardly mobile kind of real Black-centric mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like real pro-Black mindset. And so it's important to give you cooked food instead of the fast food. Like that's
No fast food,
definitely
no microwave shit.
intentional. It's definitely intentional to give you cooked food. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the substance is of the utmost importance in regard to like when we're making music. But outside of that, I try not to overthink it too much.
That makes sense. Also, how did you connect with Static Selector, man?
Facts.
Publicist. So
Shout out. Shit, it's all math at the end of the day.
he was mad cool. Like he was incredibly quick to work with, and then what was cool about him was when I got up with him, he was like, "How'd you like the remix?" I'm like, "It's dope. Want me to do it again? Do you want me to try?" Which was incredibly crazy to me that you were willing to scrap it and do it again. Like he was just cool, real cool, down to earth dude. And he was real professional, got it done super quick, and that's how it came about.
Considering your creative circle, how like nerve-wracking was that to invite a Static into that workspace?
I would prefer not to work with outside of it, but given the fact that he told me that, hey, I want to try this remix project and whatever, I was like, cool.
You made it easy for you to
I got out of my way. Got out of my way.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
So getting in your way was a thing before, you would say?
Absolutely. You overthink things, and Absolutely, yeah.
You go negative. Everything's negative first.
Can't see the positive like aspects of what the change might be, essentially.
Once you have something that actually works for you, like with business and stuff, it changes your psyche, man. And you start realizing, why did I become successful with this particular thing? And then you start realizing that, oh, so this is bullshit. This is bullshit. This mindset thing here is bullshit. So all you have to do is just do this and focus on this and this and that. And so that's kind of like my psyche changed.
Simplifying essentially the whole game plan.
Yeah, man. You could just get out of your way, man, because you overthink things. And the thing is, you didn't accomplish your goal when you're overthinking things. What happened with me is that I followed my gut and it worked out. I'm like, oh, I've heard people say that before, and I did it begrudgingly by accident on a vacation, and then the dominoes started falling, and then this person reached out. You start realizing, oh shit, maybe I am as dope as my irrational
Maybe
confidence.
I think I'm as good as I think I am.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit, like,
I like that, man. And Rome Streets, I won't lie, like, I opened up Instagram one day, and next thing I know, it's Errol Eats Everything at Rome Streets. Big block letters. I'm like, what the hell is this? Rome's home team. So it's like, if Rome was putting out music, we're gonna like and be like, yo, what's going on? But like, how did that come together, man? Or was like Rome somebody you was following? You say, it'd be dope to get Rome on this song.
I mean, of course I knew who Rome was and his music. I think Click just had mentioned it. Hey, we should, what about this? I think he'd be good.
Ideas essentially floating around.
And then I'm not good at reaching out and rubbing elbows and stuff. I'm not good at insincere conversation.
That's a bar.
And
you speaking my language. I can't do insincere conversation.
I can't do it, man.
All, bro.
I can only just, this is cool.
I suck at small talk. I can't do small talk, insincere shit. Either we having real convo or, you know what I mean?
You good at it?
I'm exceptional at it, but I'm getting old, bro. My powers are wearing off.
That's why I keep my guys around. They're better at it than me. Like, even we chopping it up, or don't say shit to me. You know what I mean?
Click can do that. My homie can do that for me, but I'm not good at that. And so that just came about, and I just got out of my way. If it was up to me, I would never have a feature because I would never
reach out.
If it happened naturally, I would do it. But I don't go outside like that.
Fair play. Nah, but I'm glad you did because, of course, we saw it pop on the timeline. I'm listening to it. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, we know what Rome was going to do. We always expect Rome to deliver. But then the visual was ridiculous.
All the video?
Yeah.
Coach did this thing.
Crazy. Yeah. So it's like, I'm like, this is dope. And then like you get to rapping, and it didn't have you on the screen at first. It was like some animation kind of vibes. And you pop right on the screen, and I'm like, wait, this is not some rando that's just rapping. This guy's pretty good. Then now I'm listening to it with a fair ear because I always go in bias. I ain't gonna lie. I go in with a bias ear.
I go in with like, this is about to be garbage. Let's see.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying.
By default. You know what I mean? I go in bias and I try to lean into fair, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh shit, these guys, do they know each other? Because it was like real. It was flawless as far as like you guys, that beat, the subject matter, everything like that. I know like.
Two different styles, but somehow it's a song.
There you go.
It's not just like a feature; it's a song.
It made a lot of sense that you guys was on that song together. So I'm like, how did that?
I feel that way about the Planet Asia one too. It's like it's a song.
Very intentional.
I didn't try to The first thing he said to me, sorry man, I didn't mean to take it back there, but the first thing Asia said to me, I got to LA and he was like, "Hey, I don't care about people saying, oh, you out rap this person. I feel like that's hater shit." I'm
on a song with my guy.
Yeah, he's like,
ain't nothing wrong with competition either. I think that but that's not like if you trying to outdo somebody, if that's your whole energy, then it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean? But I feel like the song was a story, and his story was dope. He just took it there and in his style, and it just worked.
Now listen, y'all got one with that one, big. I'm like, again, that made me listen to the rest of the shit because I'm like, first of all, I wasn't familiar. Then again, I listened as a hater at first, and then I'm like, oh, this guy's he rapping. Wait, time out. And he talking about that, which is another thing. Is like you could have just been a drug dealer, drug dealer bars and all of that. He was talking about some shit.
It wouldn't have been good though. I'm not. I'm not from that life.
A lot of people who rap it aren't.
Ding. My drop. You know what I mean? So I'm like, for you to spit mature lyricism, especially in this day and age, a lot of guys get on the record roam streets. They try to like go to his world.
Yeah.
You know, y'all were from two different worlds converging with a soundscape that just made it all make sense. And then added, I think it helped too the visual, because seeing it before, hearing it was like, oh, this whole shit is just. They went big, essentially. You know what I mean? Yeah, you hit, now that I'm talking to you, it makes a lot of sense that there's a certain level of intentionality with what you're doing. Like there's no like, all right, let's just do this and get it out the way. Everything has to have a purpose behind it. So I'm appreciative of that. But you mentioned Canada earlier. Like, you know, again, to the common man, Canada rapping, we only know two guys for real. It's Cardinal, it's Aubrey. But there's a lot of lyricists inside of that country. Like for the people who don't know any better, like give us an idea of what is it like to be an artist that has connections to that country. You mentioned Toronto as well. Like what is the competition like? What is the skills level like, etc.?
The thing about Canada is nobody had the secret sauce as to how to do anything. And if they did have it, they kept it close to their vest. And so there is Socrates ran things for years. He was the man because he, like, to me, he was numero uno before Drake. Like, he ran it for years, and everything he dropped was crazy. And so it was collectives and it was crabs in a bucket on a mass scale. Cardinal made it through, a couple people made it through, but really Toronto ran the set. And then there was a group out of Western Canada called Rascals.
I heard about them.
And they actually made dope music as well. But it was there was a collective there, man. But the thing is chaos.
Oh yeah.
So I did a show with Sinister, the Executioner Sinister.
Yeah.
He had a show one day. I did a mixtape for him, and then he had a show somewhere in one of these bars in Manhattan. And I went through. And I'm like feeling nice because I just tore it down or whatever. And then in comes Chaos with dude, and he had one of them, I don't know what you sit on, the drum thing, you sit on, whatever. Yeah. And this dude walks in with it, baggy pant looking like, from another country type of dude. And Chaos comes and grabs a stool, he sits down. People kind of gather around. And when I say he wrecked shop and tore it down,
damn.
He tore it down with this guy on his little drums and just his vocals. And it was amazing.
No performance track, just him
him killing, murdered the set. And I see all these people clamoring to him afterwards, like industry people and stuff. I'm like,
it is.
Yeah, So Chaos, definitely.
Nah, because I think like, they get underrated. Even like Danielson is another guy that I listen to.
Fire.
He's fire, bro. I'm like, when I found out he was Canadian, I was like, what?
Because
the thing is, he did an interview, and it's like his interview voice and his rapper voice. It's like two different fucking people. I'm like, wait a minute, you're a Canadian gang?
So
and he's like raw. You know what I'm saying?
Fire, bro.
Hip hop in Canada is like not compromised like it was here. And so if you actually go to Toronto or visit, you'll see it's like still pure in comparison. And so the essence of hip hop is way more pure. The radio, when they play it, it's way more pure. It's not compromised like here. It's getting there, but it's not. And so that's one thing I learned in hindsight. Like, oh, okay,
That's interesting. That's interesting. Now I got to go out there and feel that, because I haven't felt like that level of purity probably 30 years.
People go and do shows and they're like, oh, it's just like when they play for the Raptors. Until they get to Toronto, they don't understand what it. Oh, this is amazing.
They say Toronto's an excellent city, like
city.
Almost super underrated. Honestly, you and I would thrive there because like West Indian culture is very loud in Toronto. We be comfy and cozy over there.
Big Trini, big Guyanese
the food, the culture, the ladies. Yeah, we be okay.
Yeah, we'd be all right, man.
We'd be all right. Make sure I need a good curry though. If I don't got a good curry, I'm coming back.
Tell Mace to set the embassy up.
All right.
And the women, I say, you come to America to play, you go to Toronto and Canada to find your wife.
Talk your shit.
Game.
Errol with the boss.
That's true.
Go ahead, Sid.
We got to get out of here soon. But I wanted to ask you a question. I actually wanted to circle back to something you were mentioning earlier because I'm still curious and it's kind of like still ruminating in my mind. You said that like you go back and listen to your earlier shit, you kind of cringe.
Yeah.
Why is that? And what separates you then from you now?
Finding your voice, I guess. I was trying to be dope in a way that wasn't truly in alignment with who I am.
Okay.
You know, and
Performatively dope, you'd say?
Yeah, I mean, I did some banging tracks, but so you said I sounded unique, right?
Yeah.
That can contribute to insecurity as well because I don't sound like I can't compare myself to what everybody's flipping out about. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I unique like E40 New York deep? Unique, you know what I'm saying? You know, and I don't want to throw shade at E40 because he's so different. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, and so.
The way you rhyme, like some of the pockets you hit, definitely unique. You know what I mean? You're not an ABC rapper. Like you're definitely a little more technical about it.
I can't even believe people use the same cadence over and over, like Rick Ross, whoop, and then it's the same. Like, dude, like a whole album with the same cadence, like you know.
Well, and it's funny too because when as I was listening to your project and I was like coming in here and I was like, I have to tell him how unique he sounds. But then also in my head, I was like, he might take that well, or he might take that as like, what does that mean?
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that? You know, and it's the same thing. It's what what you're sort of saying now. And I wanted to make it clear that like it's unique in the best possible way.
Appreciate you, man.
You know,
people typically say, "You sound like Chub Rock."
No, I never got that.
I got that.
Chub Rock?
I got that so much.
Chub Rock.
And then, or they'll say, I got a lot of Doom because of the animations, because nobody knew what I looked like at first. And they're like, "You like the new Doom?" And I was like, "That's dope." You know, I'm not going to show my face now, you know?
Like that aspect is cool. It sounded like Chub Rock. No shots at Chub Rock legend, but like I didn't hear that at all. You know, I heard a skilled rapper.
I appreciate you.
You know what I mean? Like that did things a little bit different. But you know, before we get out of here, like for the audience, shout out to the chat, locking in with us as always.
Joe, you actually have one extra question.
Do your thing before we wrap.
As a person, like you just the words "get out of my own way," like the way you said resonated with you. The
irrational confidence.
Yeah, the getting out of your own way resonated with me, my brother. So, like, if you're a upcoming artist, if you're a person that's just interested in just being a musician, an artist, or something like that, just real quick, can you lay off some things that you can tell people to get out of their own way?
What does your gut tell you? You gotta trust yourself. Only you can be the best you. You know what I'm saying? And then and so if you're overthinking it, has it brought you success? If it hasn't brought you success, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the universe is giving it to you, and then you're throwing some extra seasonings in there because of insecurity or whatever it may be. That get out of your own way came from the entrepreneurial aspect of my life. I just got out of my own way. Once something worked, and then you just see what is perceived as magic, and you see for what it is, you're just like, oh, so I've been overthinking things, this and that.
It always ends up that way.
Yeah.
It was just that the whole time. Yeah.
Has overthinking brought you success?
No.
It never has, and it never will. That's
because that pod is the total opposite of that. This pod is a lot of just do it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of doing, not overthinking.
If I had a dollar for every time I said toast in that, let's just do it, bro. Stop, you know what I mean? Don't overthink it, Let's just, you know what I mean?
Let's just get it in.
Have a nice little bonus, you know? But like for the audience, like who, if they're gonna tap into you after this, what would you tell them to expect as far as their listening experience from you?
That's hard for me to say, man, because I feel like I'd have to go into an egotistical space to say something, because I'm just being myself. And so what you'll hear though is a black experience, blackness, upwardly mobile blackness. You'll hear a historical aspect. You're gonna hear the knowledge of master teachers. I echo the sentiment. You know what I'm saying? Within my personality, being myself. And you're gonna hear hopefully originality. I like that. To me, when you said that to me, that was like a stamp for me, because I'm from that era. Yeah, you never used to.
You gotta be. You can't be what the next guy's in. You gotta
imagine coming out sounding like somebody else. Like back in the day, you couldn't do that, man. Right. You couldn't do that, and so
Didn't he just said that on Monday? As a matter of fact, when we were talking about Keem, you mentioned that he was like, you can't sound like somebody, or make your music can't remind the artist of somebody else.
Because that's automatically where we're gonna put you.
Yeah. But what are you doing to try to emulate? That person's already there, just be yourself. You know what I'm saying?
We already got them.
You understand the concept. This thing sounds so good to me that I want to make it sound the same.
That person's already over there. I've never heard it placed like that. I'm gonna use it in the future. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Nah, Errol, we appreciate you pulling up with us, man.
Absolutely.
And last question before we get out of here, like, where can they find you on social media so they can tap in with you?
Errol, ERROL eats everything.
Errol eats everything.
Yeah. It's the same handle across all social media except for TikTok. It's Errol Eats on TikTok. I don't know why. I'm gonna switch it though.
I mean, the way TikTok is set up, that makes sense. But they might think you're a food platform. You guys they went through 10 and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But tap in with the homie Errol. Great music, great lyricist.
Yes.
Bringing a whole different perspective, but something that you're familiar with at the same time. So lock in with him. And I promise you won't be disappointed. Nothing but illustrious guests here on the Rap Round Table. Deanie, take us home, man.
Yo, shout out to our guest. Errol Eats Everything, man. We so happy to have you, my brother.
Appreciate you.
Great
man.
build. Shout out to Walter Great, engineer in the cut, keeping everything wavy. Shout out to Jarvie. Shout out to Sincere. Shout out to Macito, always here, even if he's not. You know the vibes. I'm Dean, the balance of the force, and with our powers combined, it's the Rap Round Table. And like Errol said, man, be yourself and stay the fuck out your own way. It's the Rap Round Table,
That's
episode 144. We out of here. Ow!
Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. 144 in the books. See y'all soon, man.
Thank you, guys.
Go on, y'all.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Great build.